right, hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast, or you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to the boys.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for our AEW All in Texas 2025 preview. Breaking down this Saturday show from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, as it's All In invades Texas for the first time, record-breaking crowd in front of over 20,000 fans. We will see one of the biggest shows in AEW history, and of course, we are here to discuss it all, and to do that, I am joined by an all-star panel as usual for our pay-per-view previews, whether it be WWE or AEW. I am joined by the lovely, the always effervescent, the always hilarious. You know her from coexisting with Rob on Fightful Overbooked. She is the one and only Maggie is here. How are you doing?
I don't know what that first word meant.
That was exactly why I said it. Exactly why I said it.
Is this confused the Eastern European chick day? Can you tell me what that word meant? Is it something bad? Right?
It's basically another word to say lovely.
Oh, so you could have just said that, but you chose.
I did say lovely. I just went with another term for it.
Well, thank you so much, sweetie. You're adorable. I always enjoy having shows with you. Like if you didn't know. Jesus. I'm really good. I just finished work like every Friday, but because Rob and I aren't doing coexisting today, we're actually doing it on Sunday for a special all-in episode, of our show. So I am all ready to do a show with you for like fucking 5 hours because like I know how these predictions go, and that's why I have 2 slices of yesterday old pizza. And yeah, I will not be starving like all of our predictions on Friday. That's why I'm not cranky. So like I'm okay. How are you guys doing?
That's what I love to hear. I'm doing well, and I'm also doing well because our good brother is here. You know him from our New Japan Pro Wrestling coverage, but of course, he's been joining us as well for these AEW pay-per-view previews throughout the year. He's got his own podcast talking pro wrestling with Dolores. You also got him talking about movies on all the social platforms and his blog. The one and only Jay News is here. How are you doing?
Man, listen, it's been a long week in New York City. The humidity's at an all-time high, and I prefer to be in Texas rather than New York right now. I'll tell you that right now, brother. But I'll tell you this. The entire week, the social feeds, the video feeds, everything's been full of all this all-in news. All this Hanger Mox, all this Mercedes Toni, all this. Now it's full of freaking the social media guy and his kids and the Don Callis family and all that stuff that went down last night. Yeah, big boom AJ.
No, wait. I haven't watched Collision yet, so I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
We're gonna spoil some stuff for you because
I
there's
don't
a
care.
big match. There's a big match on the pre-show. We're gonna be talking about
Fucking shit,
big
man.
match.
Yeah.
Boom.
We've got a lot going on.
Okay.
5 stars in the Tokyo Dome. I can't wait.
-3 panties. They owe me panties. That's
Well, yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're watching us on demand, comment down below. Give us your predictions for AEW All in Texas, the biggest pay-per-view of the year for AEW. Let us know who you think is going to win the big matches and everything else on the card. Any wild predictions for surprises, you can let us know in the comments down below. And if you're with us live, you can let us know in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many comments as possible on screen. But if you want your comment read out, if you want to share your thoughts, your hot takes, if you got any questions for us here about All in Texas, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. It goes a long way to help the channel grow and move forward, and we always appreciate the support. And it's a great time to be a member of the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button because we got All In week. We got plenty more coverage. We're doing a watch party and a review for All in Texas. We got the flagship podcast tomorrow. We got watch parties for Saturday night's main event and Evolution, and we'll cap things off with a review of those two shows on Monday. But we wanted to make this even bigger for the previews, so of course we had to bring in a fourth person on this show, and of course he's showing up late because he's the resident True Heel alcoholic himself. Top Guy JJ, how are you doing?
What's going on? Sorry for the tardiness, but just on kids' vacation, things happening. But I was enjoying during your intro everything that you were saying. Like Maggie was doing like a "let it rain, clear it out" type of like sign language.
That's the CEO.
Yeah, because he was talking about super chats. I wanted.
I loved it. I was like, oh, she's telling it for the people that's hearing and for the people that can see it.
Yes.
We're multilingual
Exactly.
here. We're hitting all the bases. I see a lot of excitement in the chat.
Oh my god, I feel like I haven't seen Jay News in like 7 years.
I I think it was last year, Grand Slam.
There you go. Dustin is ready for the show. 24 hours away from the show. We got Call Me Mr. Bonda says, I won't be able to sleep, eat, or think about nothing else but All in Texas, baby. We also got I Make Beats, who says this feels like the biggest show of the year atop all the other shows. I'm stoked. Collision was my kickoff to the weekend this morning. Let's go. Yeah, you said you didn't watch Collision.
It's not a kickoff show. The kickoff show is 5 hours and it's tomorrow. Like, fucking stop it, man. Like, we just have a regular show for like 4 hours. 4 hours is a happy medium. 5 is a bit pushing it. Can we just fucking quit it with the 12-hour pay-per-views, man? What do you think we're made of? Am I supposed to eat a full meal's worth of, throughout the entire day if I'm in that fucking stadium? What the fuck?
2 meals, lunch and dinner.
You eat one during the pre-show. You eat the, towards the end of the night. I don't know which match you would choose on the main card. I'll let y'all know what would be my bathroom or
there's
lunch break.
No Jericho matches this.
Yeah, there's no Jericho match, so it's hard to figure out which one to choose.
I like her.
See, if people are already chanting for Maggie in the chat because she went on a rant this early. I love it.
We haven't even fucking started talking about the show, and I'm already pissed off. Quit it. It's just, can we have a 5-hour pay-per-view? Can I just, okay?
Maggie Boy is in the chat. Look at that.
Hold on. I might have to prepare for this episode here because somebody's bringing some thunder.
Mickey Boy is in the chat with us today. Good to see you. He says, what's up, everyone? Seeing Superman in a few hours. Then y'all in tomorrow. Gonna be a great weekend. I know, people. Yes, y'all in. Y'all in. You ain't see my headline? It said we are y'all in. Y'all in. We also got Power Driver Finisher mentioning what I was gonna tell Maggie. If there's one thing you watch from Collision, it's the Hangman Page going to Swerve's locker room segment. It's one of the most compelling segments I've seen in pro wrestling in quite some time.
Okay.
Actually watched Collision for the first time in like 6 months.
Wow.
And I actually enjoyed it.
So
it was great.
I'm from Bulgaria and we have 7 hours difference, and I had to actually work today, so that's why I haven't watched Collision, but I will. So
you got something to look forward to
today, and there's a massive time difference. Absolutely, take your time.
It's
too apparently I can because I have a fucking pre-show to do.
What time? Wait, what time is it over there right now?
Currently, it's 8:30 p.m.
It is 8:30 p.m. Damn, she about to turn up after this show.
Yeah.
Good to see some people in the chat. We got King of the North, I Make Beats. We got Dustin in the chat. We'll give you our prediction, Dustin, for sure, on what we think is going to be the opener of the show. We also got our boy Corey Michaels in the chat, who says, my hot take, all the wrestlers should talk it out and recognize that it's all about good times and friendship at the end of the day. And then they just stab each other in the head with forks.
Then we would have the worst programming of all time, because everybody would love each other.
Listen, guys, it's all about stability, the ability to stab. So
stability, exactly. See,
yes, you got to think ahead.
Yes.
I love people are quoting you. Sophie saying, I'm eating, so I'm not cranky today. Maggie 3 minutes ago, before she started talking about pre-shows.
Hey, listen, imagine if I weren't eating, okay? Imagine me not eating. Do you remember that old-time favorite pre-show that SP3 and I did? I don't remember what AEW pay-per-view it was all about, But I was so fucking mad, man. I didn't eat for an entire day, and I came home, ate a protein bar, and got
Was
on.
that Revolution? Jay News was
I
here for
feel like-
Revolution.
I was here for that. That was my introduction to Maggie. It was an
I'm so sorry.
explosion of all this.
This is
of all these-
fantastic.
Of all of her
So yeah, no,
movies.
this is
I said to myself,
fantastic.
wow, this was different, you know. So, yeah, I was there for that.
So according to this comment, it only took 3 minutes for Maggie to become a madman because she's a madman.
Yes.
We got all the peeps in the chat are with us today. We got ALW back in the chat. Good to see you. We got Hassan celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Hassan. Appreciate you for joining us today. But yes, keep showing some love in the chat. Send those super chat donations because we got to talk about this Saturday show. So as usual, we'll go around and we'll figure out 0 to 10 how much we're looking forward to this Saturday show, which I am sure is going to be much higher than all the shows that I did on Wednesday with Cresta and Kate. Shout outs to them, where Cresta gave both Great American Bash and Saturday Night's Main Event a 0. So I'm sure it's going to be higher than that. Maggie, 0 to 10, how much are you looking forward to All in Texas?
So if we look at this entire weekend as an all-in weekend, this should be an 11. Let's just look at it. But because it's not that we have SmackDown, we have Ring of Honor. We have Great American Bash. We have All In. We have Saturday Night Main Event. We have Revolution the other day. And because this isn't enough, for us tennis people, it's the Wimbledon final on Sunday too. So can I just have a break? Because I ordered a new couch this week because I've hated my current couch for like 6 years now. And I finally got, ordered a new couch. And I kind of was hoping there's no way of this happening, but because it's gonna take up to 45 days for them to deliver it to my door. And I kind of wish this new couch was here on Sunday, because I'm going to spend my entire Sunday with my ass glued to this fucking ass couch. And I kind of wish it was the new couch because it's really good and it's not broken. So this should be an 11. For me, it's like a 9 because of all of the other fuckery that's going to happen. And because it's me and I'm that stupid ass person, which always leaves the best for last, which is, if you're doing that, stop. It's for your own good. So I'm going to be watching all of the other shitstorm that is going to be fucking Great American Bash and Saturday Night Main Event. And if God help me, Goldberg beats Gunther, I'm not saying that I'm gonna quit covering wrestling, but I would really want to. I would really, really want to.
You won't, because you would have to talk about it. You'd have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's money, okay?
News if he wins the championship, because everybody's going to be equally pissed off.
Yes, I will be peeling my face off on our show. So after all of this, and that's the moment I'm going to sit down and, like a proper lady, just watch the greatest fucking show that of course it's in fucking Texas. So if you guys are doing that, just stop it and just do not leave the best for last. Fuck Texas, man. All In was supposed to be in London. Texas could go suck a bag of dicks, okay?
Hey, wait a minute. What did Texas do to you?
They got All In.
To you?
They got All In. All In is a London thing. I can go to London, okay? But like
You can go to London next month, Maggie. They're gonna be there for free.
I can because I bought a fucking couch, sweetie. Are you gonna
Priorities, man. Priorities.
She's like, I set everything up. Were you listening?
You picked up nothing that she put down.
Are you fucking listening to me?
Oh, the fact that she's doing this to Jay News right now, I love it even more. Oh, you thought I was bad.
So what do you guys think about the show?
I'll go 0 to 10. I'm at a solid 9.5 after Collision. Collision put the cherry on top. I got that Swerve and Hangman segment, which I said one of the most compelling segments that I've seen, and it sets up for the perfect crescendo to the main event. Mark Briscoe's promo was ridiculous. That was awesome. He's one of the most genuinely likable and endearing and just an authentic babyface in real life and in pro wrestling. It's very rare. I agree with Big Man Dog. He's potentially the best wrestler in the world, and I feel like this MJF feud is going to help him out so much in that regard. So, yeah, I'm at a 9.5. I'm looking forward to the top 4 matches, and I said on AE Ramble yesterday, the key to this build being so good is that the top 4 matches, I am not 100% sure about who's winning any of them. So I'm looking forward to talking about it. Jay, we'll go to the top guy JJ next. Top guy JJ, 0 to 10. How much you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I was probably at like a solid 6, 7. But after this week, that's how you do go home shows. So I'm pumped up for this shit. So I'm up to like a 9. I'm up to like a 9, 9.25. Like I'm looking forward to this a lot. Like, I just hate the fact that it's at fucking 3 o'clock. I hate that part. Like, I don't like that shit at all because I'm on the East Coast, and that literally just takes my entire day away. Like, the entire day
doesn't it?
Gone. And then since we cover wrestling, we gotta follow it up by fucking watching Goldberg at 10 p.m.
You don't have to.
I mean, we don't have to, but we're wrestling fans, so we're going to.
Yeah, and we have a channel
to show you
too.
that the wrestling fans aren't smart people. So.
I mean, we have already claimed ourselves to not be intelligent people. We've been doing this for almost 8 years.
Exactly. We watch wrestling. None of us are cool.
like we are in our own fucked up vortex right now. Like this is
we can't escape. We keep going to the door. It's like an escape room. It's just another door into another room.
Like, I thought I was gonna quit wrestling when Goldberg beat the Fiend, and then I just couldn't because I needed another shot.
Oh, Jay is
9.25. So I'm hyped up for this, even though that's the reason why it's not a fucking 10. It's because it's at 3 p.m.
Fair. Jay News, where are you at?
This week was a little interesting for me because at the beginning of Dynamite, I felt like the go home show was a bit slow for me with the ladies. I wasn't too much of a big fan of the talking segment, to be quite honest. But
the talking talk.
They're talking segment.
No, he's talking about Timeless Toni Storm and
Tony and Mercedes. Yeah,
I thought Timeless. Talking about
I thought no, he's talking about Dynamite. I thought Timeless Toni Storm was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look, to each his own. At the end of the day, gotta respect people's opinions and all that jazz. I wasn't a big fan of the segment and all that. But the rest of the ladies on both shows gave me hope for that Casino Gauntlet match. So I'm thriving off that, off Mox and Hanger, and I think Kyle and Adam should be a good match. I hate the fact that people on the internet are talking about it should be a squash match because that would be dumb, in my opinion. But if I'm giving it a number, I'm at a good, cool 8.5 right now with the all-in stuff.
All in stuff.
What a bummer!
Like you did all that down talking to go 8.5.
8.5.
I think I'm used to it because I do a show with Jimmy who craps on Dynamite every week and then winds up giving it like anywhere between a 7 and an 8. I'm like, you actually enjoyed this show. Why are you?
So this man,
I only said something bad about one segment.
He just gave wrestling fan analogy in a nutshell of how unintelligent we all are.
Do you remember? I think it was like a WWE
All of
Premium
us.
Live event, and I'm like, oh, this show is gonna be really great. And then the first match, I'm like, let me tell you why this match sucks.
That's usually how it goes. Yes. I made Beast to answer your question. In the UK, it starts at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
So nice.
UK time.
Nice time for the UK. And we got a super chat donation here before we get started. Chuck Berries, thank you so much for the support. He says, any words on...
He got the perfect time slot up here.
It's one of the rare times. It's a good time slot for me. I think Top Guy JJ got frozen there. He's like he's doing his Roman Reigns impersonation. There we go. Now he's just blurry. We got Chuck Berries who says, any words on Mr. Kingston? I would not mind seeing him get his hands on a certain someone that put him out of action last year. You can't deny the convenience of Gabe showing up for All In. I mean, I was really under the idea, I think when we did the Double or Nothing preview, I was under the idea that maybe Kingston would show up there for Anarchy in the Arena, but he didn't. And I think the last time they said he's still training to get back, but he had a serious injury. So I'm not going to put money down that he's at All In, but there's always a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah, he's still doing his PT with Cesar Bononi and shit, man. So at the end of the day, I'm not too sure if he'll be back, but it would be cool. It'd be cool.
There we go. But let's get into it. And yes,
in the building. But
yeah, I can see him like backstage. I don't know if he'll get involved in
there.
Yeah.
I mean, he can light someone on fire and just leave.
Points were made. But we said we would spoil something, so we'll show you the whole card for this coming Saturday, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK. That is the whole layout for all the big matches, because I don't have exactly a graphic for this last match. At the right-hand side, right bottom corner, which will be Big Boom AJ teaming up with the Conglomeration's Tomohiro Ishii, Hologram, and reuniting with the Conglomeration, the Paragons, Kyle O'Reilly, to face the Don Callis family team of Roppongi Vice, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta, Texas' own Lance Archer, and as Big Boom AJ said it, Hirashiro, which he meant Hechicero of CMLL, who has been an unofficial member of the Don Callis family. So it's Don Callis family versus Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration. Maggie, how excited are you for this matchup? I can tell already you really are. And who wins on Saturday?
I don't care.
On the 0 hour.
I don't give a fuck. Could we just don't ask me. Just can we pass on? I don't just stop it.
Top Guy JJ, who you got? Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration, or the Don Callis family?
Look, man, I get it when they did it one time as like a cool thing to do for a show, but to bring these motherfuckers back that I have no idea who the fuck any of them are, like I'm not even watching 0 hour because of this. I will gladly take my time back to not see this. I am not watching this at all. So I not only don't give a fuck, I won't know who won. I will not know who won this match at all. Like, miss me with all that little 3-foot kid, like fucking touching the bottom of his chin. And then none of these kids got any bass in their fucking voices at all. Like miss me with all of this shit. Like, I guess Jay News might like this shit.
Jay News, who you got? Big Boom AJ and the Collaboration versus Don Callis family. I'm looking for one prediction from the three of you.
Are you guys not fans of the big double chunk chocolate cookies? Are you guys not fans of that? Jesus.
Boom! Come on,
Jesus
man.
Christ. Look,
I don't even know what that means, man.
Look, you got
boom.
You got to watch the product. You got to watch the product.
This is wrestling analogy 101 is perfect done. It's perfectly done right here. This motherfucker just crapped on the Mercedes and Toni Storm excellence and talked about some big chocolate chip. What?
Listen, man, at the end of the day, I didn't say it was good. I'm just giving you facts. Look, it happened last night on
No, you're giving me shit that's available to see. Those are not facts.
It's a fact of life that it's going down tomorrow in the afternoon. That's the fact of life. It's going down. Anyways, look, man, I don't know if they have some weird contractual deal here where they have to be on the 0 hour for these shows. Their 0 hour matches have been entertaining, okay, for the most part. I'm not looking forward to it necessarily, so it is what it is. But Kyle being a goof is always fun, so that's always cool to see and all that stuff. And anytime you get to see Big Tom, why not, man? Why not? Tomohiro Ishii for the win.
My boy, Big Tom. Big Tom.
Whoa, Kaka.
my boy, Big Tom. I'm going with Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration. The Big Boom Conglomeration.
There goes your prediction. It came from you.
5 stars. 5 stars in the Tokyo Dome. I can't wait. But also on the 0 hour is a matchup that a lot of people are calling one of the best tag team matches of the year. They're going to run it back on 0 hour, announced last night. It will be FTR going up against the Outrunners. The FTR, of course, turned heel back in April on Adam Copeland, and they've been turning their back kind of slowly but surely on all their friends that they made when they were baby faces. First, it was Daniel Garcia and the announce team of Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness, and as of late, it's been the Outrunners, who FTR were pissed off the Outrunners got involved in their business after an 8-man tag team matchup on Collision, and the Outrunners made a challenge to FTR for a tag team matchup on last week's Collision, and they put on an absolute barn burner. One of the best tag team matches for sure of 2025. The match didn't even have action legally outside of the ring. It was just all in the ring. It was old school. It was bloody. It had some grit to it, and it's absolutely the best Outrunners matchup they ever had. Can they repeat that? And can the Outrunners this time defeat FTR, or will FTR basically confirm their superiority over Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd on 0 hour here? Maggie, who you got? Outrunners versus FTR.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I fucking hate the Outrunners so much, man. I cannot stand those people. Listen, if I see one more scoop slam on my television, I'm gonna start taking meth until I look like a raccoon just got out of the dryer. I mean, just bury that whole gimmick that absolutely reminds me of Hulk Hogan every time. Every time.
There's really a God. There's a God. There is a God.
I want to barf every single time the Outrunners are on my television set. And this has nothing to do with their wrestling skills, because they're actually amazing wrestlers. But that gimmick can go fucking die in a fire.
Wow.
I kind of feel like the Outrunners have to win, and if they do, I will have diarrhea for 13 months. So
what? Wow.
I guess you're going with FTR.
I hope
It's like
FTR win.
It's like you came up with multiple ways to say how much you hated Outrunners. That was great. J News, who you got here? FTR or the Outrunners?
Wow.
Yeah, follow that up.
Yeah, I don't even
follow
know.
that.
I can't follow that, man, at the end of the day. It seems like me and Maggie are going to be on opposing sides of everything today, and that's okay. That's fine. It's all right. I came up as an 80s baby at the end of the day, so I love 80s wrestling, so I love the gimmick. So it is what it is on my side. So, what can I say? The result here, I see FTR winning this match. Their first match was a great match on Collision, but I see FTR winning this again because it just seems like we're heading inevitably to FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate down the road. So I can't see FTR losing this match at all.
Tough guy JJ, who you got?
This feels like a safe space now. So I'm allowed to share. I have never liked these motherfuckers. From day one, I've never liked them. I hate the fucking entrance where the fucking hypnotic fucking camera goes. I hate the fucking Thunder in Paradise colors. This shit all reminds me of Tag Team Terrence from Florida. Like that's literally what I can't. I could not do it. I can't do it. This would have been dope if this was 1987. This is 2025. I can't get with it no matter how. And as cool as that, they're not bad in the ring. But everything before the ring, I don't want nothing to do with it. So I don't want them to win at all. I don't want them to win at all. Because if they win, they're gonna be on Dynamite now. Like, keep them on like the other shows that I don't watch. Because if they beat them, they're gonna end up on Dynamite. And I don't want to see them on Dynamite. So, I guess we're going with FTR because, I don't like them. I never liked them. I won't ever like them as long as they're in this fucking tie-dye shit, whatever the fuck this stuff is, or whatever, this character gimmick, Baywatch, fucking Beach Boys, or I just can't do it. Can't do it. Sorry. Not sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. I'm sorry that I said sorry.
Tag Team Terrence from Florida. That was very nice. Very nice. I'm going to go with FTR as well, but I think that Cope comes back after the matchup.
Yes. Hopefully not to screw over, it's like if he comes back, listen, if he comes back and costs FTR the match,
they're going to all pose.
Yes, they're going to all pose. And that's going to be funny for like never. And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna...
Yeah. Your diarrhea will start.
Yes, right now.
13-month diarrhea. 13-month diarrhea. So... Yeah, I do. I do show love to the Outrunners. They had a great match, best Outrunners match ever against FTR. And Truth Magnum, he liked the tweet, so he's a fan. He's a fan. So
look,
the wrestlers themselves are good. They're obviously good wrestlers. The gimmick fucking sucks, man.
I just need a bell to ring. That's it. This is the way you need the bell to just ring. I just need the bell.
I like the Predator handshake elbow. That's what I'm here for.
You like that stuff, but I ain't never going to.
Why are we friends?
Well, let's talk about a tag team matchup that I know everybody's looking forward to, and that I think will open the show on Saturday, the main card. It will be the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. These four men have been at each other's throat over the last couple of weeks, but it dates back to when the Young Bucks made their return at AEW Dynasty and cost Swerve Strickland the AEW World Championship in his matchup against Jon Moxley. Of course, the Bucks said they did it for Hangman Adam Page because he always always wanted Swerve to not be the champion, but it was more for them to get in the good graces of Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. This led to Swerve getting his own team of the Ops, Kenny Omega and Willow Nightingale, to fight against the Young Bucks and the Death Riders in the incredible Anarchy in the Arena matchup at Double or Nothing, where they pulled off the victory. But coming out of Double or Nothing, after Will Ospreay lost in the main event to Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman Adam Page was set for the main event of All in Texas to challenge Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship, it was Swerve who came out and confronted Hangman to ask him if he was behind what the Young Bucks did. But it was Will Ospreay who wanted to be the bridge between the two blood rivals of Swerve and Hangman, and telling Swerve that they needed to work together to help Hangman do it. He's the man to do it. It wasn't Swerve. It's not him. It's Hangman. But Swerve would have nothing with it. Hangman didn't want the help of Swerve. This led to Swerve and Ospreay brawling with each other and leading to a one-on-one matchup at Summer Blockbuster that went to a 30-minute time limit draw. But then the Young Bucks came out and attacked Swerve, handcuffed him to the ropes. They put on the thumbtack sneakers that Swerve used to stomp them into defeat at Anarchy in the Arena. But it was Will Ospreay that stepped in front of the bullet for his good friend Swerve, took the super kick from the Young Bucks. They've gone at it in multi-man matches, but it was Ospreay and Swerve who made the challenge to the Bucks for All in Texas and said that they wanted them to put their EVP titles on the line. But the Bucks denied that challenge and said that they have to put something up. So Ospreay came up with the bright idea that if him and Swerve lose, they will not get a shot at the AEW World title for 1 year, which Swerve was not too happy about. And then that led to this week where on Dynamite, Swerve got an excavator and destroyed the Young Bucks limo. He also stomped them into the ground. And then after Dynamite went off the air, Swerve and Hangman had a heart-to-heart, finally coming to some type of a understanding of their rivalry. Hangman still hates Swerve for what he did to his family. Swerve wanted to have that house that Hangman burnt down for his kids and his grandkids, but sometimes you have to put the past behind them. Can they do that? Can Swerve and Ospreay beat the Young Bucks? And will Swerve come out in the main event? We'll get into that later, but who's gonna win here? Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay. Maggie is fanning herself, so I'll go to her first. Who you think's gonna win?
Listen, just talking about this match made me start ovulating, so it's gonna be such an incredible banger, man. Exactly. So I'm ridiculously torn when it comes to the end result of the match, because I can see everything happening here. I mean, I can see, because I feel like the EVP thing has lost its charm, if it ever had any, and this is a good way for it to stop existing, please, for the love of God. But on the other hand, Young Bucks winning gives an opportunity for a lot of things. So let's say that Hangman wins the main event and he's the new AEW champion. So this gives them the green light to not do Swerve or Ospreay for an entire year. What could happen was, like, if Swerve and Ospreay lose, what can happen is that they can have another match, and then they can do, the whole stupid thing with, let's tag with each other, and do that entire thing. And they can go into the tag division that fucking desperately needs some help, man. Desperately needs help. And they can be the ones to take the championships off of Hurt Syndicate. Or on the other hand, you can have Swerve and Kenny Omega for the other belt if Kenny Omega wins that other belt. I mean, the opportunities are endless when it comes to them losing the tag team match. And I know this is awful because I never want Ospreay and Swerve to lose ever. But at some point they have to. Also, for some weird ass reason, people want to pretend that the Young Bucks aren't the best tag team ever, right now at least.
And they're making a lot of people look stupid right now because they've been killing it.
Yes, absolutely. But like, because they're big ass trolls, you know? Both Nick and Matt are trolls. And like, whatever people don't like about them, they just turn it up to 11. And that's, and because they want to, you know, make fun of, you know, everyone that has zero wrestling knowledge, or, you know, diehard WWE fans that, you know, just want to hate something for the sake of hating it. But like, you want to, if you want to hate the Young Bucks, that's fine, but you cannot tell me that they haven't done everything in their power to elevate tag team wrestling in the modern day of the wrestling industry. So I know this is a bit edgy, but I'm gonna pick the Young Bucks here. And seriously, I'll be fine with either team winning. I just feel like the most intriguing and interesting stories ahead are with neither Swerve or Ospreay challenging Hangman for that championship title belt. And again, this is all assuming that Hangman wins, which we cannot be 100% certain. So I'm picking the Young Bucks. What do you guys think?
Let's go to J News. What you think, Jay?
I don't know, man. Honestly, in my heart of hearts, it's one of those things where I feel like it should be Ospreay versus Swerve. But to Maggie's point, and it'll probably be the most interesting thing to have the Bucks win, right? It'll lead Swerve and Ospreay into different single stuff. It'll keep the Bucks strong, and maybe if the Bucks want to go back into contention for the tag team belts, they can do that or whatever. And keep flashing the EVP powers and all that jazz. My hype around this match is really more for the in-ring that's going to go down. Like, this is going to be some incredible wrestling. And I think you're right, too, but it's going to start the show. So if it starts the show, we're going to start the show on a high, and it's going to be an incredible high to start the show. I'm good either way. Result-wise, I'm good either way. But if the Bucks do win, I have a feeling that whatever does transpire by the end of the match will have a trickle-down effect on the main event.
Yeah,
so
definitely. You got to choose one, though.
Yeah.
So who you got?
I'm gonna stick with Swerve and Ospreay, for the sake of just me being bigger fans of them than I am the Bucks. But there's that.
I'm fans of everybody in this matchup. I think this might be one of the best tag team matches of the year. And I think it is a low-key candidate to kind of steal the show, especially if it's opening the show, because the crowd is going to be so super hot for this. And I always, with these predictions, I try to go with the more interesting option. So I'm 100% in agreement with Maggie. It has to be the Bucks. Because not only does that make it interesting for the next year with Swerve and Ospreay, it makes it even more interesting if Swerve's getting involved in the main event. Because do we really think Swerve Strickland is going to put aside his own selfish desires to be the AEW World Champion, knowing that he can't challenge for that title for 1 year and still help Hangman? I think it adds too much to the main event that you can't miss out on the opportunity. So I'm going with the Bucks.
Yeah, also this has to be a great match, tag team match, because I cannot possibly live in a world where everyone is talking about FTR and the Outrunners. Please just stop it.
We're past that.
I will never be past that.
JJ,
this could be tag team match of the year. This could be tag team match of the year. I'm preface that. I'm going with the Young Bucks. I'm going with the Young Bucks to win this because it's not who I want to win. Because the interesting dynamic, I guess to a degree that it's working, is that I don't like this EVP shit. I guess to an extent it's working because they're doing their jobs. And Will and Swerve are not a tag team. And they're going up against the best tag team in the world. And come hell or high water, by hook or by crook, by thumbtacks or by super kicks on feet, they gonna win this match. And Swerve and Will's egos are gonna get in each other's ways because of the magnitude of the situation. And Swerve is gonna get mad at Will at some point for putting his world championship on the line for a year that he can't take a shot at it. They're gonna get in each other's ways after it being a incredible fucking match. And this will then help elevate the new unified championship that's going to be on the horizon.
That too.
After Omega and Okada battles for that. This will then open up the gate for cats like MJF to get back into the title picture, because you can't have everybody in the title picture all at once. So this is a way to get them out of the picture for a little while and let some other cats get into the title picture, which I think is a brilliant move. You can't have everybody in the main event scene. They all can't be in it. There's only like 2 spots for it. There's a champion and there's the soon-to-be challenger. And AEW's got a lot of heavy hitters. So time to put 2 of them off to the side. One was already champion. One is going to be champion eventually. And
next year in Wembley.
Yeah, and that shit, we just need to let it ride out. So, I'm going with the Young Bucks off of trying to go logic here, off of fandom, because I'm clearly a much bigger fan of Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, but I am not losing my head on the fact that those are not tag team partners. Those are 2 men getting together for a match to try to take away the most important things to the Young Bucks, which is their EVP titles, and that will not happen.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, this will set up Swerve and Ospreay once again, probably in the Owen final next year. I said that on In the Weeds earlier this week, and I think I'm dead set on Bucks should win, because it helps out. It's going to help out the tag team division, especially if Swerve and Ospreay are a tag team, and like Maggie said, they need it. Then
this match is gonna fucking rule, bro.
It's gonna slap.
This match is gonna rule.
Then we got, for the TNT Championship, Adam Cole, baby, will defend against Kyle Fletcher. These 2 men met previously back in May for the TNT Championship, with Fletcher losing by disqualification when Don Callis family member Josh Alexander got involved. Paragon and Don Callis family have been feuding ever since. They faced that Double or Nothing in a multi-man matchup, faced that Grand Slam Mexico in a multi-man matchup, faced each other in multi-man matchups at Fyter Fest and Summer Blockbuster. But Fletcher earned this opportunity by defeating Daniel Garcia on last Saturday's Collision to become the #1 contender, and now nothing's in his way to claim his first singles title in AEW. J News, who do you got here, Fletcher or Cole?
This is pretty obvious. This is probably the most obvious win of any of the matches on the card. Kyle Fletcher wins this. Is he the better Kyle? I don't know, but he does win this match though. So, like I said earlier, I mentioned it earlier, there seems to be a certain corner of the fan base who thinks that this is going to be some sort of a freaking 4-minute match or whatever the case is. I don't expect that. Kyle Fletcher does not do well in short matches. That just doesn't help him in that regard. And Adam Cole likes to tell very interesting, unique stories in the ring. So give them a little bit of time, 10, 12 minutes, if that, and they'll do the job. But Kyle comes out on top. He'll come out dominant in the win, but it's not going to be some 4-minute match at the end of the day. So yeah, that's what I got.
Maggie?
Every time they put the title on someone, the TNT title specifically, on someone new, I'm all like, okay, now now they're definitely going to do something with that title. And then they never do. And I look like an idiot. So I understand that I'm biased when I say this, but Miro for me was the best TNT champion when it comes to that title. Again, of course, I'm biased. But this shouldn't be a thing. I was sure that Adam Cole was going to be a great TNT champion. Is this a thing, Luis? Flashlights stand up, because that is the best thing ever.
Fleshlights, yeah. That's what
yeah,
that's what he calls his fan base.
Oh my god, that is so great, man. Okay, that's the best thing ever. I mean, I adore Kyle Fletcher a lot, because that is, for me, that's the future of AEW. And he wears pink. He's comfortable enough in his masculinity to wear pink. How can you not love that guy? I'm sure that it's his time. I just don't know what they do with Adam Cole in the future. I hope that, I don't know, they do something with the trios division, because what the hell was that? Like, trios division and tag team division, it's completely gone away. And I don't understand, man. It's AEW, where the best tag team wrestling happens. What the fuck? Did we forget about that? No, yes.
SP knows how I feel about the trios division.
Sure.
It's
Fletcher. It's not
All
good. It is not good. I keep forgetting that the ops are champions, because, like,
don't worry, most people did.
Yeah, we were so happy that it wasn't, the Death Riders anymore, because they never acknowledged those championships. Yeah, they never even, like, where are those champions? When the Death Riders got because, like, okay, Moxley has that champion, presumably he has that championship in the briefcase. Where do the other championships are? Like, do they have a clubhouse? Like,
yeah.
Judgment Day,
it's like a trophy room, like a trophy room.
Yeah, like a trophy room. Okay, so, like, are they there? And they just don't want to pay extra money for a flight ticket for for that amount. I just don't get it, man. And then the ops are trios champions, and have they defended those championships at all? Will they be defending those championships? Did they defend them on Collision last night?
Well, we'll get to that. They're defending it on this show.
On this show, yeah, with Gabe Kidd, right? He's a part of,
Yeah.
Okay. So, listen, Gabe Kidd wrestles exactly like he talks.
Unhinged. Yes.
Unhinged.
So there's a basis behind him saying he's a madman, I feel like people don't get the gimmick at the end of the day. So it's
not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick.
It's really who he is.
It's who he is.
He's fucking insane. Marry me, Gabe. Marry me. Just because obviously Zack Sabre Jr. does not want to. So you're next.
There you go. You're next up. JJ, who you got? Cole, Fletcher.
This title has to come off of Adam Cole. I completely forgot he was a TNT champion up until like a week ago. He has, and as my, like I this I hate saying because I love Adam Cole. Like I love Adam Cole. I will always love Adam Cole. But he has been the most forgettable TNT champion I've ever experienced. Like I legitimately did not even remember he was champion until like a week ago. Something is happening with the booking of this title that it has become so not even secondary. It has become an afterthought. Like this title has just become so irrelevant that they have made a unified championship to now go over this championship. Like they have watered down this belt so bad that this needs a resurgence, and this needs matches on Dynamite. This needs matches on Collision. This title needs to be shown. Like this title is not getting any work. And this was the second most important championship in AEW. Now it feels like the seventh. Like it just doesn't feel like it has any level of importance. So hopefully with this rising Protro star, I love that the fact that they just missed Porn Star and they just added that Proto in there. Yeah.
Proto.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Kyle Fletcher is due for a moment. Like, he has been killing it this year. He has been flat out amazing. He's been putting on bangers after bangers. He literally has probably 3 to 4 match of the year candidates. Not sure that he would win match of the year at any juncture, but he has definitely put on candidate matches. He's been tearing it up. And this is how you handsomely reward him, is by giving him what is supposed to be the second most important title in the company. We'll see. I got my doubts about this title now because of how they've treated this thing over the past year, maybe even longer. But hopefully Kyle Fletcher brings something to this championship, and hopefully we get to see some quality matches now that he would become champion. Because yeah, like Jay New said to start, this is probably the most obvious choice of this entire card.
Yeah, this is the most obvious of all the predictions. Yeah, it's definitely Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher needs to win this title, and hopefully he can bring some buzz back to this title through great matches on Dynamite and Collision. But another title that needs more shine, like Maggie said, is the AEW Trio Championships. They will be defended on Saturday's show, as the Ops will defend the AEW World Trios Championships. Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata against the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and New Japan Pro Wrestling's own Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd, of course, joined up with the Death Riders on the road to Anarchy in the Arena, helping Moxley defeat Samoa Joe in his side of a steel cage for the AEW World title. And ever since then, he's been the mercenary for the Death Riders. He showed up again on Dynamite this week, attacking Samoa Joe from behind and revealing himself as the third member for the Death Riders, who have been looking for a third member for a trios team ever since Pac went down with injury. It was the Ops who defeated the Death Riders when they had Jon Moxley as their third guy at Spring Breakthrough in April, and they have remained undefeated as a trio. Will that undefeated streak continue, or will the Death Riders gain some more power by collecting the Trios Championships back? Maggie, what do you got here? Ops or Death Riders?
Okay, so are they gonna put those championships back on Death Riders? That is the weird thing, because I don't think because Gabe Kidd isn't a part of AEW, an official part of AEW. So I don't think they can do that. Also, the Ops just won those championships from them. Are they gonna give them back the titles? I kind of feel like the Ops would retain here. But it would mean that the Death Riders lose everything, not counting the Young Bucks, because the Young Bucks aren't a part of the Death Riders. I still feel like the Ops retain here, but it will be incredibly weird if they decide to give the Trio Championships back to the Death Riders. And I'm like, okay, with Pac the problem? What? It's not fair. I don't know. It's a bit weird. It's stupid because I love all 6 of these competitors. I really do. But because the Trio Championships have mattered none. I don't know. I don't know what to expect here, and I don't know what to think about the match. The match is gonna be pretty good, but because the Death Riders are, a part of it, I see a bunch of shenanigans happening. So I don't know what to feel here. I'm gonna pick the Ops, just for the sake of picking someone, but hopefully it's a good match. It's Gabe Kidd. It has to be a slapper. Gabe Kidd and Samoa Joe. Give me that for a full-on 5 minutes without any interruption, and just.
I'm here for the Gabe Kidd and Samoa Joe minutes in this matchup.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the Ops though. I think that the Death Riders, there's no point of putting the title back on the Death Riders, and you'll just be going down the same rabbit hole of the Trios titles not being defended, because Gabe Kidd's gone for a month, guys. He starts the G1 next week. So he'll be gone for a month. So I don't want the trios titles to be on the sidelines again. So the ops retain. JJ?
You won't notice.
No, well, at least the ops come out with the titles, and they've been frequently highlighted.
Samoa Joe wears it proudly. I will say that Samoa Joe does wear that shit proudly, so I give him that. The ops better win this match because God for fucking bid, we get the fucking Death Riders fucking putting them shits in pillowcases again and just throwing them shits under a fucking bed. Like, cause that's basically what's gonna happen to them championships. Like, they just disappear and they don't even fly. They don't even fly with them shits. Like, they just don't fly with them until it's time to give them up. Like, I don't like this championship anyway, so I could care less, honestly, who wins this match because it's a trios match. I just want to see the interactions in the ring. I definitely want to see Gabe Kidd and Joe go at it. I definitely would love to see that. I wouldn't even mind seeing, Powerhouse Hobbs and Gabe Kidd, throw Trey some blows. Like, I'm looking forward to that too. But yeah, like I could care less about these championships. I will never care about the trios championships. They're the worst championships in wrestling. I hate these fucking belts because they're fucking pointless and they will never build a trios division that will make me care because there's usually only one or two contenders at most for these championships. And yeah, it's not a real thing. So, sure, they tried and it failed. So just fucking move on and just have 6-man matches. Don't need these fucking nonsensical titles to be in the picture, but sure. I'm going to go with the ops to win this match. I care less about the titles.
J News?
I mean, I don't really have much else to say. It's all been said, really. To pick a winner here, I'm going with the ops. Makes most sense, as you said. SP3, Gabe's got a large engagement for the next month, so I don't see him winning a championship that he's not going to be able to defend. And on top of everything else, they got some storyline bits to tether together with some other talents here and there. I don't see Hook coming back because supposedly he's another one shooting the movie right now. So,
he's shooting a movie and he's still recovering from the concussion.
From the concussion thing. So that's that. But yeah, the ops retain here. Hopefully we do get something interesting happening in the trios championship. But like JJ said, I don't necessarily know if they can book anything interesting for those particular sets of championships at the end of the day. But yeah, the ops for the win, they retain and then they go forward from there.
For the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Hurt Syndicate, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley will defend against Jet Speed, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight, as well as the Patriarchies, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. The Hurt Syndicate have been dominant champions since January. Jet Speed stepped up as contenders for the titles on the Fyter Fest show, where they picked up a win with Commander over LFI, and then faced the Hurt Syndicate as Summer Blockbuster the following week. The Hurt Syndicate picked up the victory then and attacked Jet Speed after the matchup. Then in Arena Mexico, after MJF stole the mask of Mystico and the Hurt Syndicate jumped him, it was Jet Speed who came out and made the save, getting in the Hurt Syndicate's business once again. And then Jet Speed picked up a victory over AR Fox and Ricochet 3 weeks ago on Dynamite, and were put through a table by the Hurt Syndicate after they issued a challenge for the championships. The Hurt Syndicate then beat the crap out of them 2 weeks ago on Dynamite 300 over and over and over again, to the point that I was like, I think that the Jet Speed have been made into geeks. Meanwhile, over on Collision, you had the Patriarchy, where Christian Cage said that he wanted him and Nick Wayne to become the first ever father-son AEW World Tag Team Champions. They picked up a win over the Learning Trees, Big Bill and Brian Keefe, and then got into a backstage confrontation with MVP, where Christian switched up his game plan. Instead of not listening to someone because their father's dead, he said he's not listening to MVP because he's a criminal and has been in jail. Christian Cage, my idol. So then this led to our Hurt Syndicate on this week's episode of Dynamite being attacked from behind by Jet Speed, who stole their AEW World Tag Team Championships after Kevin Knight picked up a win in a triple threat over Shelton Benjamin and Nick Wayne. Jumped them from behind, laid out the Hurt Syndicate, and then the Patriarchy tried to basically take the credit for that and attack Bobby Lashley, giving his knee a concerto over and over again, where the challenger stood tall, and finally someone in AEW hurt the Hurt Syndicate. So can the Hurt Syndicate survive this three-way matchup where the odds are not in their favor, or will their dominance continue? Maggie, what do you got here? And what have you thought about the build to this matchup? Where I will say I did not like to build to this matchup because my poor Speedball and Kevin Knight were made into geeks for weeks.
Yes, geeks for weeks. I'm absolutely agree with you here because Speedball, he fought. I know it was a multi-man match, but he fought Kenny Omega. How you cannot have this now? It's weird. I feel like this entire thing isn't as important as the dynamic between the Hurt Syndicate and MJF himself, because while that big brawl was happening during Dynamite, MJF ran away. And I feel like this will be imminent for the match itself. I don't know if Hurt Syndicate lose the championships because, guys, I have no idea what they're gonna do for All Out in Toronto, for Christian and Copeland, because they have to be together, right? Please tell me they have to be together. And I don't know how they go from here to there. Seriously, I have no idea. And it has to be natural and not at all forced, because they have a lot of explaining to do why Copeland would back up Christian and vice versa. So I'm gonna try to have faith in the TK booking. Everyone pray to Mercedes Monet because she has creative control. Pray to Mercedes Monet for her to book this correctly. So hopefully this all makes sense, because I don't want a forced reunion when it comes to those two. For me, the logical thing would be for Nick Wayne to take the pin in this match for any of the other teams, for him to take, the pin. And Christian loses his mind and starts beating him up. And then Copeland comes out and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And then beats Nick Wayne himself.
Wouldn't that make them heels?
Yes, hopefully.
Copeland does need to be a heel in AEW at least once.
Yeah, he does need to be a heel, because listen, I'm 36 years old. I know who Jimmy Rockway is. When he's talking on the microphone, talking about Jimmy Rockway, it's weird because people, he did not say that person. They're like 60 years old. No, just be a heel, and maybe you're gonna be better on in the microphone, because he's kind of lame when it comes to face energy in AEW. A bit, just a tad lame. So let's hope, because this would mean that he does not get involved in the FTR Outrunner thing, because Copeland isn't gonna come back on the pre-show. I don't want to.
No, I don't think so.
No, he's not.
That's why I didn't say. I didn't try to sell anybody on it. I was like,
no, it's the pre-show. He's not doing that. He's gonna do that here, and then, hey, what do you do? And then just fucking what? And then because I feel like Nick Wayne would be an excellent face, because he was kind of a face, before, and I want to see him, for the TNT Championship versus Kyle Fletcher. That's going to be, well, he's going to lose, but the match is going to be really good.
I think the way to do that, though, would be FTR interferes and costs the patriarchy. Hurt Syndicate wins. Because FTR already said they're pissed off at Christian for losing that 8-man tag last night.
Okay. Oh, he lost. Okay, so that's fine. It's so you don't want Jet Speed to win.
They look like geeks.
I know.
I love Speedball. I love Kevin Knight. I literally requested to talk to them for Sports Illustrated for my first 2 interviews for AEW. I want the best for them. This build was not the best for them, and thus by making them look like geeks the whole build and then them winning, it means the Hurt Syndicate lost to geeks, and that kills both of teams. So no, Hurt Syndicate wins, retains.
I'm gonna pick Jet Speed.
Okay, fair enough. J News.
I feel like everything has to do with MJF. I don't know, man. And that because like I kind of feel I didn't mention this, but I kind of feel like either one of the Gauntlet matches is gonna open the show because you need to put space in between the 2 gauntlets because it's gonna be too gauntlet-y.
Yeah.
So you need to space it out. So I kind of feel like one of the 2 will open up the show.
That's fair. J News, who you got?
For all the wrestling I've watched throughout my lifetime, I've never seen a match scream to me more than the Hurt Syndicate losing their tag team belts than this match right here. Reason being is that I feel like the Hurt Syndicate as a group has a plan. And I mean Bobby, Shelton, and MVP know MJF. I feel they have a plan. And those 2 gentlemen, regardless of age, great together, but they're great independent singles stars themselves. And with the way that the championship is going to end up, where the unified title is going to end up, the TNT title is going to end up, I don't think Bobby and Shelton are going to be tag team champions for much longer. They want gold, but they want singles gold as well. So I have a feeling when the patriarchy wins this match, because that's my pick, when the patriarchy wins this match, and it'll make sense down the road because I have a feeling that Christian Cage is still going to turn on Nick Wayne and Cope is going to come in and take Nick Wayne's spot and they're going to be the champs because they can do that. It is AEW at the end of the day. So, yeah, I don't see the Hurt Syndicate retaining here. I see the patriarchy getting the win here. Unfortunately, like you said, Jet Speed has been booked like geeks for weeks, and it just they don't come out strong on this one. And I have a feeling that they have bigger plans for the now 50-year-old Shelton Benjamin. Happy belated birthday, Mr. Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley going forward.
Also 50.
What happened?
Also 50 years old.
Also 50. There you go. And I feel like since the beginning of this whole MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate thing, and they've always given MJF that sense, that the false sense of confidence, because they're one step ahead of him instead of him being one step ahead of them. So he wants that championship back, MJF. That is, I don't think he's going to get anywhere near it if these guys lose their championships, which I think is going to happen here. So this is going to be like that, the snowball effect.
Top guy JJ.
Nice try, guys. Y'all understand that this match is no disqualification, right?
Yep, I do. That's why I picked the Hurt
Syndicate are gonna fuck all 4 of these people up. They're all gonna get their asses whooped for what they did to them on Dynamite. The Hurt Syndicate is gonna not only retain, they are gonna take bodies with them. Ain't no happy ending for any one of those 4 guys. The mom, the dad, the son, the 2 nerds. There's not going to be a happy ending for any of these geeks and family members involved.
Sounds like Family Matters.
During the making of this production, there will be people harmed and hurt. The Hurt Syndicate is going to fuck these people up.
Hopefully.
and they are going to retain. Bobby Lashley ain't taking no concertos or no bumps or no shit like that and not getting his get back. That ain't happening.
Exactly. Literally, the beatdown was just to make y'all think they could lose the AEW World Tag Team Champions, which means that go home segment was the most effective thing they did in the build because it got Maggie and Jay News to go off of the Hurt Syndicate. I'm not buying the bait.
Buy it not once. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying no stories. I ain't buying no happy endings. I ain't buying no dreams or no tag teams forming. Hurt Syndicate is going to fuck people up, and it's going to be business as usual.
I don't deny that the Hurt Syndicate is going to fuck some people up and that they will hurt some people. I just don't think they're going to win the match. That's all.
Yeah.
Both things can be true. They will fuck everyone up and still lose. That's it.
Honestly, I hope you guys are right because I don't want to see the title reign for the Hurt Syndicate to end because I adore the Hurt Syndicate. They work well together. And by the way, the biggest lie in wrestling is that Shelton Benjamin is 50. I'm not buying that.
He's getting younger. He's getting younger. He's the Benjamin Button of wrestling.
Okay, so the Chris Jericho is what, like 53?
I thought he was like 73.
Yeah, Chris Jericho's like 54, 53, yeah.
Yeah, that one of these things is not like the other.
Well, when you party too hard throughout your career and you just do some really bad shit to your body, you're going to look like Chris Jericho. Or you're just going to look like Shelton Benjamin and do things because he can. And
they hurt people.
So you're telling me one of them did really bad things to their bodies in their 30s and 40s, and the other one looked around awkwardly in a room.
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate
but
it.
Just no, we're not getting hook winked on this one. The Hurt Syndicate is gonna whoop their asses and retain their championships.
I have no problem with that.
Then we got one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most on Saturday, the Women's Casino Gauntlet matchup. Because, wow, I can't be a fan of women's wrestling. I'm looking forward to this because it's going to have some of my favorite wrestlers in it, including the number one entrant of the Casino Gauntlet, which will be Chris Statlander. The number two entrant will be Megan Bayne. Those two women will start it out, and the Casino Gauntlet is a gauntlet that continues until we get one pinfall or submission to declare the winner. So the match could end at any point. It could end with Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne, but if it doesn't, you have the likes of Athena, Thunder Rosa, Willow Nightingale, Ty Mello, Anna Jay, Tekla, Queen Aminata, Penelope Ford, and the list goes on and on of what we can have some surprises. And Mina Shirakawa is also scheduled to be in this matchup as well. So it could be any number of participants in this one. I expect this to be a very interesting one in regards to what type of surprises we get here as well. I'm looking forward to it. Maggie, it sounds like you are not, so we'll start with you. Who do you think wins the Casino Gauntlet for the women?
This is ridiculous, man. I'm so happy that you're looking forward to a women's match. Well, they've done next to nothing, it's still gonna be a 12-hour pay-per-view, and they still have two women's matches. I know it's a low bar because they just have one. So yay for 100% more of the women's matches. So it's like, I know this gives an opportunity for a lot of women to be on the show, but like that's, and first of all, I hope that they give this match some time and not just, get it over with. There's your second match, get it over with. So I do hope Sheeta comes back. I do hope Britt Baker comes back. I hope we get to see Sky Blue. I hope we get to see fucking Athena, man. That roof is gonna blow up for Athena and Thunder Rosa. Um, I I've been kind of mad with their way of booking with Queen Aminata because that woman is one of my favorites when it comes to AEW, and yet they always do her dirty, man. Like they give her opportunities, she shines on television, and then she disappears. The good thing now uh, is that they have that thing going on with Tekla and Queen Aminata. So this gives them an opportunity to have a thing themselves in this match. So this is good. I don't know. I'm gonna pick Chris Statlander here because they've been doing those backstage segments with Death Riders, and I kind of feel like this leads to something more. Um, I I won't necessarily put money on it because first of all, I never gamble. But second of all, this is the gauntlets themselves are really iffy because like we have no idea who's gonna be in those matches at all. And like they can do an entire thing of well, I was supposed to be in the gauntlet, but the match ended. And everything. But like Chris Statlander here, probably.
That's fair. That's fair. I think they're on a good rate with the casino gauntlet. All the casino gauntlets I've enjoyed in some way. So that's the number one reason why I'm looking forward to it. And I wanted this matchup because when you have the two top champions in the women's division in one matchup, this is the best way how you get multiple women on the show. So I manifested this matchup. That's another reason why I'm looking forward to it. All that to say, Willow Nightingale for the win. I am a Willow mark. We need to solidify her. She signed a new contract. Let her get the win here and get a future shot at the Women's World Championship. J News.
I wanted to ask if you guys feel there are going to be any surprises in any of these gauntlet matches as per, non-AEW signed talents, anybody coming back, things like that.
AJ Lee. No, I know.
Maggie, stop.
Listen, I know it's never gonna happen, but a girl has to dream, okay? She can go back to the other show.
She's got a chance. She got a better chance of being on TV on Sunday.
Yes. So please come back, sweetie. I miss you. Fuck Brie Bella. Please come back. Just
Sunday's your hope.
I think Isla Dawn, because she's been rumored to come to AEW for a while. I think that she'll be in this. And yeah, I'm gonna go with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I think they're gonna nuke all the reporting that's been going on about her wanting to leave and have her come back here.
That's gonna be rough. I'll tell you that right now. From a crowd reaction standpoint, that's going to be rough. But regardless, all right, good enough. I'm with SP3. I'm a Willow mark as well. Give Willow all the fucking belts at the end of the day. I don't care. She deserves it all. And yeah, I'll go from there. I think from like a random person showing up in the gauntlet match because she's in Texas currently and all that stuff. I'll give Shotzi a shout just because I feel like she fits the AEW women's division. But outside of that, yeah, her or I'm not too sure that they fixed the visa problems with Sheeta yet. So I don't even think she's she's in the States per se. I think Jamie's still dealing with the whole concussion thing too. So I don't see Jamie Hayter coming back. And like I said, that that Britt Baker shit it's dicey, man. That's dicey.
Hey, I think there's a reason why our boy Sean Ross has been putting out all these reports of no one in AEW is aware that she wants to leave. I think it's a point why he did 2 different reports in this same week. I think it's because their AEW is about to be like, hey guys, she's still here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. Power Driver finishes it. Alex Windsor is sure to pop up. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'll get a cameo.
She's in Texas.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, and they've been airing all those vignettes for
The
her.
vignettes.
Like so, I'm sure she'll pop up in the match and stuff like that. So yeah, man. Yeah, but Willow for the win for sure.
JJ, finish us off. I know you got to run afterwards, but who you think gonna win the Casino Gauntlet?
My head kept thinking Megan Bayne. Like, it kept thinking Megan Bayne, but she already had her shot and lost. Yeah, this one's tough because there's a lot of good women in this match. There's a lot of them. For a pop-up, though, I wouldn't be too surprised if whatever her name is going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if I see Dakota Kai in this women's gauntlet.
She's not a free agent yet.
She's not a free agent yet. Her 90 days is not up. She's still got
her, Shayna Baszler, everybody that got released in May, they're still in their 90 days. They still got
about a couple weeks. Damn, that sucks. Yeah. That's unfortunate. You know what? Let's ride this Willow Nightingale train until they fucking pull the trigger. Let's ride this Willow Nightingale train until they pull this fucking trigger, because every time she gets closer and closer and closer, and then they don't fucking do it. They always leave us blue balled on her, and they never just let the fucking job finish. They just never let the job finish. So, like, Megan Bayne, her time will come. We already got oh my god, who the fuck is number one in this match again?
Chris
Statlander. Yeah, Chris Statlander. She's already had her moment in the sun. She's already been a TBS champion. I don't think she's been women's world champion yet, but she's held some gold. Let's get some gold potentially on Willow Nightingale that belongs to AEW.
She's only spent like 1 month as TBS champion. She's due for a real reign. It was too quick. Top Guy JJ, I know you gotta run. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHeal_Top Guy JJ, and on this YouTube channel, I will be back here tomorrow for the flagship podcast, True Heel Heat, with the whole gang. Hopefully. That's what we've been talking about all week. So hopefully the whole gang is still there. All right, cool. So that'll be amazing. Nice little quick little recap of what the week has been, and then what's to come in a few hours, literally like 2 hours after the show is over. Can't wait. That means our All In starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow. My God, Maggie, it has been awesome sharing the stream with you. I've already only been on here probably 80 minutes, and I love you already. So absolutely amazing.
I have that effect on men.
Yeah. So, thank goodness you're probably like 97,000 miles away, unless you probably have brothers strung out. But what's the last matches? I could just give a quick little prediction.
Men's Casino Gauntlet, Omega Okada, Mercedes and Toni, and the main event.
All right, men's gauntlet I could give two fucks about. The Mercedes and Toni, I'm gonna go with Toni. I'm gonna go with Toni retaining, because Mercedes needs to face some motherfucking adversity. She's been flying too high with no fucking pushback or no bounce back to fucking deal with. And she needs to suffer an L to understand that she ain't all fucking roses and peaches, that there is some fucking rocky shit underneath there. So Toni will humble her. Okada and Omega, I'm going to go with Omega. I'm going to go with Omega to end this off. I think Omega somehow is going to get through the shenanigans, get some unexpected help, and win this match. This match is going to be so fucking good. It's going to be so fucking good. Oh, my God. I want this match to main event so bad. My God, I want this match to main event. Match of the year right here. Match of the motherfucking year is about to happen in Texas. Hate Texas.
7 panties in the Tokyo Dome to Maggie.
Oh, yes, man. And then the main event is Mox and Hanger. I am going with Hanger because Mox is actually going to put a championship belt in the briefcase tonight that he has not done for the past 6 months. So there will be a championship in that briefcase tonight, and Hangman will finally get to take that shit out after the fucking Avengers of AEW fucking comes out. This will be an Avengers style match. This match will be ape shit fucking crazy. The fucking who's and the what's and the beefs of beefs and the fucking alliances of alliances and the fucking pass of the everybody's coming out for this motherfucking match because the entire fucking company that is not a member of the Death Riders wants this championship off of Jon Moxley. So it happens tonight or tomorrow night. Sorry.
There we go. Thank you, JJ. We appreciate you, good sir, for joining us.
All right, guys. Peace. All right. Maggie, take it easy on them.
No.
No. But then we talked about the women's gauntlet. We got the men's casino gauntlet. It will be involved already is MJF, who will be the number 2 spot in the men's casino gauntlet, and the number 1 spot to Mark Briscoe. These two men have been feuding with one another over the last couple of weeks, but MJF also has issues with the other man that's been confirmed for the casino gauntlet. If it gets past these first 2 individuals, Mystico of CMLL will be in this matchup. Also, that's been announced is Konosuke Takeshita, Bandito, Brody King, Ricochet, and there's going to be much more involved if possible in this one. There could be some surprises. The same rules as the women. The match can end at any point, and the winner of the match, who gets the pinfall or submission to end this matchup, gets a guaranteed shot at the AEW World Championship. So the real big one going into this one is the rivalry between Mark Briscoe and MJF. They had the talkie talk where things got very personal between the two when Mark Briscoe brought up Jay Briscoe, which MJF complimented as being one of the greatest human beings out there, and there's a special place in heaven for him, but he pities him because he has to look down at his brother, who was once one part of the greatest tag team of all time and is now nothing but a joke, and that he should have been in the accident instead of Jay, which really pissed off Mark Briscoe, who attacked MJF and then cut a fantastic promo on Collision last night where he says that he cannot go back to Delaware on Sunday and look his family in the eye, and said that he let that shit slide. He plans on whooping MJF's ass in this casino gauntlet. So I'm looking forward to the start of this matchup with those two individuals. Maggie, what have you thought about the build, which has really been about the MJF rivalries with both Mark Briscoe and Mystico, who he stole his mask in Arena Mexico after that amazing reaction from Mystico in Arena Mexico? What have you thought about MJF kind of being the driving force behind this? And I'll give my prediction off the bat. I think MJF wins.
Yeah, so MJF really has his work cut out for him in this match because of he made things personal with a lot of people in this gauntlet, but it's MJF and he talks shit all the time, so you kind of think that is. By the way, sweetie, do you mind keeping a comment all the time in the on display, because that way we could look at Kenny Omega's nipples?
Priorities, people. Priorities.
Yes. Priorities. You're welcome, everyone. So as I was saying before, I was nippily interrupted. And so I just I do also see Hangman winning here. Oh my god, no, MJF winning here. I got distracted from everything down there. No, make a shorter comment. Yeah, that's the one. The longer comment just
covers the nipples. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do see MJF winning here because they had a lot of segments beforehand between MJF and Hangman. So the story is there already. And it's a no-brainer. MJF and Hangman should be an all-timer every day of the year. So I do bet on MJF. I don't know. Is it too much for a girl to dream of her war daddy coming back? Is it? Is it?
The good old warlord, the warlow.
I'm a war hell, so like I'm gonna need for my war daddy to come back. Please.
Your war daddy. That's awesome.
Yes, please. Yeah, I know that he's in a whole American Gladiator whatchamacallit thing. I don't give a fuck. I need Wardlow on my television, okay? I just please.
Not too much to ask for, right?
I feel like I'm not asking for much, okay? Just I'm okay with AJ Lee not wrestling ever again because she like kind of said that already. But like can I just have one nice thing? One. Okay?
I love how exasperated you are sometimes.
I'm like, come on. It's a has the women demographic gone a lot down ever since Wardlow hasn't been a part of the show? Yes, it has. I'm lying, probably. I don't care. But like I will be so much more ecstatic and satisfied if Wardlow comes back. Just him remove
Remove the straps. You want the straps down?
and everything down.
Remove the singlet.
Remove the stuff and like
I love your honesty. I love your honesty for that.
I just want Wardlow back on my television. They never did everything with that man, and he has everything. The fucker has the ability to be the strongest person on the show and still make swantons. What is that? What? Am I the only person here? Like, I'm getting a fever every time. Like, this shouldn't be happening. He's like with the size of a freaking marble statue, and then there he is doing swantons. This shouldn't be a thing. If you're not gonna put this man over, what? No, just come back.
I love when Maggie just goes on rants. It's the best thing ever. Best thing ever. You got to top that, J News. Who you got here, and what have you thought about the build surrounded by MJF?
I mean, I'm all for equal opportunity appreciation, right? I can't say anything about Maggie's admiration for Wardlow, right? But if I were to say something like that about one of the women's wrestlers, I get canceled out in these fucking streets, and you wouldn't see J News anymore. So I must keep it PC. But for this men's casino gauntlet match here, it surprised people. Need to understand how important MJF is to AEW storytelling. Like, for him to anchor two different storylines coming into this one particular multi-man match is presence enough for people to understand he's an important part of the company. They anchor stuff to him, and I'm with what Maggie said before. It plays into, if MJF wins, it just plays into what they already teased with Hanger, going forward into the future. Now, with that being said, there was also a big tease earlier in the year before the man went to go climb a fucking Mount Everest that we were going to have.
No, don't wish that. Don't wish that upon us. Don't wish that upon us.
Hold on. Time out. Hear me out. I'm not saying he's going to win, brother. I'm just saying he's going to show up, is all I'm saying.
I want him to show up. But not in this. Not
Darby
in this.
Allin, Maggie. Darby Allin.
Fucking no.
Darby Allin will show up in this match because he is a pillar of AEW, one of the young pillars, and he's going to show up in this match, and he's going to give somebody some sort of trouble in hell at the end of the day. He's still got his stuff to square out with Mox. He'll do that eventually before he goes on to the AEW championship somewhere down the line. But I'm going to make people happy here. Take these disgusting looks off your faces, for God's sakes. He did say in an interview 2 days ago that he himself doesn't need.
So he doesn't need to be in this
AEW.
match. He doesn't need to be in this match either.
Right. But at the end of the day, you need some pop. You need somebody to come back.
Jack Perry.
I got people for you to come back.
This woman's not serious.
Switchblade Jay White. Switchblade Jay White. Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson, who's been in backstage for a bunch of these shows.
That's
there's
right.
There's a couple more. I'd rather Bryan Danielson come out in this matchup than Darby Allin. Darby Allin needs to help out with the Avengers.
With the Avengers thing? Okay, cool, fine. So no. Go ahead.
Jay White is severely injured, so no Jay White. So
he's got a broken hand.
He got a broken hand. He's not severely injured.
Just put it.
Severely
It's not
injured.
severely.
Who are you to say what?
Put a cast on. He could put a cast on.
He can cowboy Bob Orton and shit. He can do what shots he's doing right now.
Fair.
Put that thing in a cast and call it a day. But I will say this, and it was interesting for me to read this last week, and I don't know if you picked up on this, SP3, so I'll put it out there for everybody. It seems that Keith Lee put it out there that he's been fine for a while. That they just haven't.
Oh, this came out like a month ago now.
Yeah, I wasn't even necessarily aware. He is from Texas.
Hopefully this happens.
You know,
I agree.
Him being a part of the match, I think would be a big deal. Not necessarily, him winning, but just him coming back and being a part of the fray per se. I can't believe Maggie mentioned Jack Perry, and I'm a Jack guy.
You're a jack off. You're a jack off?
No.
I will have no Jack Perry slander here.
Don't do that to me.
No Jack Perry slander here. The dude deserves a lot more than he gets, first of all. And second of all, Keith Lee being back gives Swerve a chance to do something, because, if he loses the tag team champion, the tag team match, and isn't allowed to challenge for this also gives them the opportunity to do something with Swerve up until,
Yeah, they can finally finish that feud correctly.
Yes. What do you mean correctly? They never did. So
they never did at all.
That's right.
At all whatsoever. I adore Jack Perry, Rib Glass, Crimea River. That dude is my everything.
I'm happy. I'm happy that both of y'all are jack-offs, and y'all will probably be ejaculating when he returns.
Wow, interesting. Not necessarily, but Jack needs TV time, so
he does. And I mean, I get that you're probably referring to women's penis envy, but I will not be ejaculating anything.
No. I'm. This is a bit from Jeremy Lambert, who's the number one jack-off. He's a jack-off. He made the term. He made it into an affectionate term, I guess.
Everything that comes out of Jeremy's the mouth.
His ass?
It's the same thing. So
it's one and the same. But yes.
I love Jeremy, by the way.
Yes,
I love Jeremy.
We all love Jeremy here. Jeremy's our boy. But let's talk about the triple main event in my eyes. As first, it will be to determine the inaugural AEW Unified Champion. You got Kenny Omega, the AEW International Champion. He will be putting up his title against the AEW Continental Champion, Kazuchika Okada. It is Omega Okada 5, winner takes all, to determine the AEW Unified Champion. Omega and Okada have, in my eyes, one of the greatest rivalries in pro wrestling history back in 2017 in the Tokyo Dome in January at Wrestle Kingdom 11. They put on one of the greatest matches of all time that was rated 6 stars by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer, and really put New Japan Pro Wrestling on a different stratosphere as one of the best places for pro wrestling in the world. It elevated them in the eyes of the pro wrestling world and put a lot of different fans onto New Japan Pro Wrestling. From there, they put on 2 other classic matches in that same year at Dominion 2017, the 60-minute time limit draw that was a battle of endurance, stamina, and passion throughout that matchup in Osaka-jo Hall that went to a time limit draw. And then they faced again 2 months later in the G1 Climax tournament, where Kenny Omega finally defeated Kazuchika Okada, hitting him with the One Wing Angel to go to the finals of the G1 Climax. But it was during that whole reign of Okada that lasted 720 days. So 1 year later at Dominion 2018, he wanted to avenge his loss to Omega in the G1, and they put on one of the greatest matches of all time, in my eyes, the greatest match of all time, my favorite match of all time, that was rated 7 stars by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the highest rating he's ever given a matchup. And really, the Omega Okada series is really considered as kind of a catalyst for the creation of All Elite Wrestling, because it really put Kenny Omega's name on the mat, and he is one of the founding fathers of All Elite Wrestling. But Okada made his way to AEW in 2024 and took Kenny's place in the Elite with the Young Bucks, thus starting this little build up to this matchup here. Kenny Omega made his return after a bout of diverticulitis, came back in December to confront Okada after he won the C2 in December. They went face to face, and we had the All In Texas symbol in the background, so we knew what they were heading to. Omega won the International Championship in March at Revolution, and then successfully defended against Speedball Mike Bailey and Ricochet at Dynasty. And Okada once again confronted Omega, and then the 2 men confronted each other at Fyter Fest, where this match was made official, winner takes all. The following week, they basically debuted the AEW Unified Championship, which will be the culmination of all of this at All In Texas. But then we got a twist into the story, as Okada joined forces with Kenny Omega's arch nemesis, his former uncle, his family, Don Callis, and became a part of the Don Callis family in a brutal, bloody attack on Kenny Omega, where he went after the diverticulitis, made him spit out all this blood on a stretcher, and laid Omega out for weeks. Kenny Omega's best friend, his golden lover, Kota Ibushi, made his return and wanted to fight for Omega, and fought Okada at Dynamite 300, with Okada picking up the victory. Post-match, Okada and the Don Callis family went to attack Ibushi, and Omega made his return. And then we got an absolutely superb video package on this week's Dynamite, where Okada said one of the best lines he's ever said in his career. He said, "I will hurt you. I will beat you. Maybe I'll kill you." He says he's going to kill the man. It is now personal between Okada and Omega. Before, in their first 4 matches, it was about who was the best wrestler in the world, who was the best wrestler of this generation. Now it's 2 men who are hell-bent on destroying the other. The 5th match, first match in the United States. Maggie, what have you thought about the build to this matchup? Who wins on Saturday?
Okay, so this match has been a long time coming, and so will I. But this is good. Yes, thank you.
Very well done.
It's I feel like I've been saying this every time that we talk about a Kenny Omega match. Kenny Omega is my forever all-time favorite. Kenny Omega is the Roger Federer of wrestling. No one does it with such grace. No one does it with such passion. And this is, when you watch Kenny wrestle, it's like watching ballet, man. And I don't care if you think this is funny. I don't mean it, to be funny at all. but like you're witnessing art every time Kenny's in the ring. He combines beautifully styles of wrestling and like this, and they shouldn't even work together, but like somehow he does it in such a fluid way that what is this? And I usually don't judge people that don't like certain wrestlers. I really do, because like normally I sound like people who someone who judges people a lot. I really don't. Like, you enjoy what you enjoy, you hate what you hate, and everything's fine. But like, I feel like if you don't like Kenny Omega, you just don't like wrestling. It's really weird. It's really, seriously, it's really weird to me.
I can concur with that statement. I definitely
Yes.
I do. I definitely agree with that statement.
It's really weird to me, and it really doesn't matter what company that you support. If you're not a wank stain loser, you should enjoy and appreciate everything that Kenny Omega's doing with with wrestling. So because I kind of feel like this this will be an incredibly babyface heavy show in terms of winning. I can totally see Okada being the unified champion here and stealing the victory. I can't see this. I hope I don't. I hope I'm blind and I see Kenny win, because like I always want to see Kenny Omega win. It's also, it's their biggest event. In the States. And I kind of feel like they owe it to, they owe it to their fan base for everything that they put us through with the Death Riders.
Yeah.
And Hangman winning the championship isn't enough. They should also give us Kenny Omega winning. Rob, my wonderful, wonderful friend and co-host, has been pretty vocal on wanting to see Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page at Full Gear. And I hope this actually happens. But if the only way this happens is if Okada wins the championship and Kenny Omega has nothing else to do, doesn't have a championship and everything. I'm kind of torn, because I really want Rob to get this match at Full Gear because it's in Minnesota, and I'm really torn. I don't want to see Kenny lose. I love the guy, seriously. Like, he's the only wrestler that has ever made me want a wrestling tattoo. I want to probably make the little Omega sign behind my ear. This is the only wrestler ever that has made me think about this. And I'm probably not going to do that because it's still kind of strange. But I'm going to say Kenny. But this is like 50.5% Kenny. Everything else is just, I'm not heavy on Kenny Omega winning. I just really want to. And I don't feel like I'm stupid enough to ever bet against Kenny Omega. And I will forever love Kenny. I'm not as big as a stan like Kylie is. Our friend Kylie from Wrestling Made Me Cry. But like, she doesn't even want to hide it. I'm trying to be a professional for once in this podcast and just say that Kenny is daddy. So come on.
I do got to highlight this comment here. I think it was Call Me Mr. Bonda who quoted my favorite line that's ever been said on commentary during a matchup, and it's from Okada versus Omega 4 with Don Callis. Hook the leg! Hook the leg! Hook the leg! Hook the leg! Check out me and Jimmy Baccarat watching those matches on patreon.com/Trio Heat, where I mark the hell out to Don Callis. I can't wait for Callis to be on commentary. Callis's best work on commentary was those Okada Omega matches, the final 3 matches. He was amazing during that. It's some of the best commentary you will ever hear for pro wrestling, and it adds so much to the matchup, and he's going to add so much here since he's been so involved in the build as well. And I thought they did probably the best job out of all the matches outside of the main event as far as building this matchup, because they could have just relied on the quality of the first 4 matchups, but they really made this different, and it feels different going into Saturday. J News, who you got?
Well, there comes a time when you sit down in front of your TV, if you're not at a wrestling show live, and you say to yourself, man, this might just be the last time. And this is the way that I feel about this match. Kenny, in my estimation, after becoming a fan of his, I would say probably after 2010, he's up there for me because he put me onto a style of pro wrestling I didn't ever know that I wanted to like, per se. JJ put it best. Kenny Omega is a wrestling artist at the end of the day, and there are few guys in the sport, in the industry, that are like Kenny Omega in that sense. But he's winding down, man. He's winding down. With that being what it is, and just the level as to what he can still wrestle at, proven by his Wrestle Kingdom match with Gabe Kidd earlier in the year. I have no doubt that this is going to be another one of those 6+ star matches at the end of the day. But I cannot, in good faith, say that Kenny Omega is going to walk out of this as the unified champion. That championship's going to need to be defended. He needs time off in between matches, which is more than reasonable. And I think with what they've been doing for the last couple of weeks with Okada and the matches that he's been having, we've been building to a version of Okada that is top tier. We're getting that top tier level of Okada, and we're going to ride that wave after this match, right? So we're going to get prime Okada doing what Okada does best after he wins this unified championship, and we're going to get these top level matches, and he's going to be exactly who he told Kenny he was going to be. He's now going to be the
best bout machine. There
you go, the best bout machine. So that's where I'm ending up with this. Okada for the win. It was I want to mention this off pocket. His match with Ibushi on Dynamite was different, but it was so good. It was so good. I think that Ibushi for the last year has been trying to find how to work best with his new limitations physically, and I think he's found it, which is good for AEW and good for Ibushi. But with that being said, we still got a high level caliber Okada in that match, and I don't doubt we're going to get that versus Kenny. And going forward, if he's the unified champion, and if the predictions come true and Swerve and Ospreay lose, they're going to need top flight Okada to fight for that particular championship, right? And yeah, man, there's so many matches I still want to watch. I still want to see freaking Buddy Matthews run it back with Okada for a better match and stuff like that. So that's where I see that unified title being, right? That workhorse title in high work rate matches per se. I definitely want to see that. So with that being said, that belt's going to need to be defended more often. Okada for the win here in this match. But I don't see this match falling short of Wrestling Nirvana. for most people. So
yeah, I think these guys are just special together. Like it could be a lesser version of them, but it's still gonna be special. Established in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'm like Maggie. I am an unabashed Kenny Omega mark. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Kenny Omega is my second favorite wrestler of all time. If there wasn't an American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, he would be first because he enriched my love of pro wrestling in adult eyes. I didn't get to see him as a kid. I didn't get to see him as a teenager like I did with Bryan Danielson when I first went to Ring of Honor shows in New York City. But I actually did get to see Kenny Omega the first time in Ring of Honor in Hammerstein Ballroom. And when I was able to meet him in 2018, I told him that. I was like, I saw you and Claudio Castagnoli in Hammerstein Ballroom, and now look at you now. It was 2018, and I was like, you're like the god of pro wrestling. You went to Japan and you just went anew. You were not doing the Dugas anymore and doing Street Fighter taunts in your matches. You've now turned into the fully fleshed version, and he is one of the greatest pro wrestlers I've ever seen in my lifetime. But I also agree with Jay News. We're at the latter half. He said that in interviews. He said that on the Wrestling Observer. We're in the latter stages of that run. And my main reason why I'm going with this is because I looked at the record. The record is 2-1-1 Omega. And if Omega wins, this is it. This is it. That's the last time you could really do this matchup. And I think they want to leave a little bit left on the bone to do it one more time, hopefully in front of me and Maggie. Hopefully I'm back in the UK in Wembley Stadium. So I'm going to go with Okada for the win here to become the inaugural unified champion, because you did it first time ever in the United States. You could do it first time ever in the UK. There's still meat on the bone where you could get one more match out of this after this Saturday. So for that to happen, you need it to be 2-1 between Okada and Omega through 5 matches where it's all tied up, and then the next match is the deciding factor. So I'm going with Okada here to become the champ.
Actually, Okada winning the championship leads to a really, really interesting storyline, because they can do a thing out of Don Callis low-key starting to support Okada a lot, which makes Takeshita really, really angry.
That too. That's the story to go. Yes.
Yeah.
So they've also been teasing Kyle Fletcher getting his way out of the Don Callis family too. So yeah.
So this could be a wonderful thing, because I kind of feel like Takeshita hasn't been receiving his flowers either.
Yes.
Although all the matches of the year from last year in AEW have had Takeshita in them, for me personally.
This year as well, him and Ospreay.
Oh my god, yes. It's just like, come on. It's so this is a really wonderful thing. So it's Takeshita fighting Bandito for the Ring of Honor championship
tonight. Yeah,
tonight.
Supercard
Okay, this
yeah.
fucking sucks.
That's gonna be one of the best matches of the week, though.
Probably, yes.
My hope is that they both come out of that match healthy, man. Because with how Bandito's been going,
exactly. It's kind of a slap in the face, because it's like this Ring of Honor pay-per-view itself, because like it's having a Ring of Honor pay-per-view for the sake of having a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I kind of feel like all of these wrestlers deserve more.
I think, well, the people that are in the top 2 matches are working both shows, so I understand you getting this Ring of Honor, especially the lineup. It very reads like an NXT takeover before a big WWE show from like the late 2010s, especially with those top 2 matches.
I usually don't call for this because there's enough wrestling to go around, but the real feel I've been getting since the beginning of the year, AEW needs a third show. They really fucking do at this point. With as much talent as they have, they need a third show. And
I don't want to ruin the vibes, because Collision's been better this year because they don't have a third show.
Because they don't have
third show. Third show was the reason why a lot of people were down on 2024.
I understand. And at the end of the day, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just talking
just use Ring of Honor better. How about that? That'd be nice.
They would need a TV deal.
They don't need a TV deal. No. You don't need a TV deal to make Ring of Honor better. Just make it better, and maybe you'll get the TV show. How about that? These are not one and the same. These are not two things that have to happen. Like, oh, we need to be on TV to be better. No, be better so you can get on TV. How about that?
What I'm saying
How about you earn your grade? How about you earn your grade? Don't say, hey, mom, I'm not gonna try in school because my teacher only gives me 80s. And me as your father, your parents gonna be like, you need to work harder. Work harder to get the better grade.
I agree. ROH should be better. What I'm saying is that the third show comment from me came from the amount of talent that they have on TV. Basically, and how they have to cycle everybody out, and cats taking 3, 4, 5 months off of TV at a time, which always negates momentum for folks at the end of the day. That's really why I brought it up. But regardless of the fact, I'll say this. This match here, Kenny Okada, I think everyone
will cry. Yes.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yesterday I shed a tear during that freaking Mark Briscoe Players Tribune video, to be quite honest, man. AEW's got me in the feels this week, man, to be quite honest. So it is one of those things. But like this match, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most on this pay-per-view, to be quite honest. I know all the storyline stuff and how AEW TV has been running is great, but the history behind these two guys together, I was with the idea that this match should have been the main event of the show.
Yeah, I understand, but we need the right result in the other matchup. So if it's not in the main event spot, but yes, AEW Women's World Championship will be up for grabs as timeless Toni Storm will defend against TBS champion Mercedes Monet. Mercedes Monet earned this opportunity by defeating Jamie Hayter to win the Owen Hart Foundation tournament back at Double or Nothing, and she's been on the rise in AEW since signing here last spring and won the TBS championship over 400 days as TBS champion, and she is now 6 belts Monet with the TBS title, the Owen Hart Foundation, a women's tournament championship. She won the EVW championship in another state. She won the CMLL Women's World Championship, and she is the Rev Pro undisputed British women's champion as well. She has been collecting titles all over the world, and she wants to collect the one title that's eluded her since coming to AEW. Meanwhile, timeless Toni Storm is the greatest AEW Women's World Champion of all time. 570 days combined through 4 record-breaking reigns as the champion. She is coming off the heels of some of her best work yet, whether it be on the mic with promo after promo. She has been the best on the mic of 2025. She's put on a match of the year candidate with Mariah May in the Hollywood ending at Revolution. Great matches with Megan Bayne and Mina Shirakawa and Mina Yamashita. Time after time, Toni Storm has delivered, making this the biggest women's match in AEW history. Mercedes has been trying to get under the skin of timeless Toni Storm, but Toni is unfazed, and she's questioned how Mercedes views professional wrestling, where Mercedes believes the AEW Women's World Championship is her legacy, where Toni believes that legacies don't exist, and she told Mercedes to not treat her like some other motherfucker. She's the best in the game. While Mercedes is scared of an ordinary life, Toni is scared of an ordinary death, and she's willing to die for the AEW Women's World Championship. Is this the big one for the women's division? This is the biggest women's match they could possibly put on, and it may go down as the greatest. Maggie, what have you thought about the build? Who wins on Saturday?
Eat shit, bitch. I'm sorry, but how is this happening? I'm so happy. I mean, let me just start off by saying that Mercedes Monet is one of my favorite women to watch perform as a whole. For me, I feel like the only right decision here is for Toni Storm to beat her. That is the only correct decision. The only one. I think that if Mercedes beats Toni Storm, that entire stadium will fall apart. And they wouldn't give a crap if Hangman wins the championship the match after that. Toni needs to win this. She needs this win because everything, all the work that they have put in up until now, Mercedes desperately wanting to win everything, while Toni Storm says that this belt is everything and she doesn't want the other belt. She needs this one. I feel like that this loss to Toni Storm is the beginning of Mercedes Monet's downfall. And she slowly starts losing all of those championships up until she builds herself back up. I think that this is a fun way to make Toni Storm Mercedes' kryptonite. The one woman that she cannot beat ever in AEW. Eventually she does, but right now, no. I don't know what do you guys think, but for me, this is the only correct decision to be made here.
Janos?
I'm with Maggie on this. I feel like Toni wins this match. Yet again, to the point that we spoke about earlier, having Will and Swerve lose their match. Toni winning this match, and more importantly, Mercedes losing this match, creates a more interesting narrative going down the line. Why is that? Oh, she's spiraling. She's losing all the belts. But as she loses all these belts, she's doing something very important at the same time. She's helping make other stars in other companies and overall solidifying and making women's wrestling even stronger, which has always been her thing at the end of the day. And I think that her beginning, that downfall beginning at All In, just makes for a more interesting and compelling story. And hopefully, not saying that all of her promos have been shit, but hopefully when this downfall stuff continues, she gets to cut more, her as a Mercedes gets to cut more interesting and more in-depth promos and things of that nature, with her basically going into her own psychosis after losing championships and stuff like that, or whatever the case is.
Yes, because right now they have been pretty shallow, and I know that she could do better.
Right.
She can do better because she's Mercedes Monet, and we've all seen her perform up until now. So she can
definitely improve. There's been times where you can tell that, she's reciting lines that were written for her, and then when she's going off the cuff, she's not bad. So I feel like, getting, having that feel, that energy of it and stuff like that, especially having her go into a downfall, would make for compelling TV for her and make her character even more relatable, because people can't relate to the CEO winning all these people don't win all the time. They can't relate to the CEO, but they can relate to people who fall on their ass and try to get back up. They can relate to that at the end of the day. And Toni Storm is Toni Storm at the end of the day, man. What can this woman not do at the end of the day? They let her use motherfucker on TV, for God's sake. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not some other motherfucker.
She's
had so many bars this year. Put your keys in the bowl, ladies, and let's come for the orgy. There's only two things that come from Texas, and I'm one of them. I'm here, I'm queer, and I am timeless.
She's different, man. She's definitely different, and she's been a breath of fresh air since she started this whole run. She's and on top of everything else, outside of the gimmick, outside of the wrestler, outside of the character, she's a tremendous professional wrestler, which only adds to the whole aura of Timeless Toni Storm. What other feuds do you give her? Who knows at the end of the day? But it's gonna what happens with Toni is that whoever steps into the ring with Toni or gets into a feud with her has to step up at the end of the day. So it challenges the girls on the roster at the end of the day. So I think that works that works on both spectrums, both for Mercedes on her downfall and Toni still on top at the end of the day. Girls have to step up regardless. So I look forward to it and all that. But yeah, Toni for the win here, man. In some sort of dramatic fashion, but Toni for the win.
Yeah, that's one of the better ones right there. I sentence you to a lifetime of mediocrity, Mariah May. I mean, Blake.
Chills.
Dude, do you know? Yo, folks have turned on Mariah May in just weeks' time at this point.
I mean, if you saw that segment with her and Jordan Grace this week, I don't blame them.
I did. You know,
it was really bad. It was really bad.
It felt like a Barbie thing to me. It wasn't necessarily offensive. You know,
I mean, I've talked to some female fans who told me it was offensive because you're saying that females with muscles can't be glamorous. Even though Jordan Grace is sitting up there in the gym in stylish leggings with her makeup on, with her hair, to the point that they make the joke at the end that she doesn't look any different because she was already glamorous.
Yeah. Look, man, all I'm saying is let it play out. Let it play out. Let it play out.
There was one really funny segment in this, and it was Jordan saying, "It's an SUV. I can't lift that." That was really funny.
That was,
and
funny.
Like, yes, and that ends everything because that segment was. I don't need to see segments like this at all because, like, what is happening? You don't like. Oh, the odd couple pairing. Let's stop doing that. Like we did it before. I feel like they do it a couple of times a year, every year, ever since 2.0. Every year they make an odd couple pairing, and it's always and it's always the two women that one of them is really one kind of of training, and the other one is really rough. And like, do you remember all those segments with Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade, their training sessions?
Io Sky and Zoe Stark.
Io Sky and Zoe Stark. I mean, those, I kind of feel like barfing when I remember those because, like, I know because like when they did that with Adam Cole and MJF, that was really funny.
Yeah,
because it's Adam Cole and MJF, and they made it funny. But like when it comes to the women, I feel like they feel uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah,
and I kind of get why.
Yeah, and it's been uncomfortable watching her on TV as of late. But all I'm saying is let it play out, see what happens. But you know, I think her being sentenced to a lifetime of mediocrity did not help.
It did not help that was the last line said to her. I am the biggest Toni Storm fan, and I have been since like 2017, 2018, to the point when I went and saw her when I was in 2018 before I met my missus at a Progress show. I screamed out, "Toni Storm, have my babies." So I will always be the biggest fan of Timeless Toni Storm. I think that she is by far the best women's wrestler in the world today. She's the best wrestler in the world today.
God, you're doing it.
Best on the mic, best in the ring. She's going to be 2025 Women's Wrestler of the Year, regardless of the result. So I would love to go with her in this matchup.
Oh, no.
But I also love being right. So Mercedes Monet is going to win. It's just how they always do it. It's just what they do.
You suck.
Mercedes Monet always wins.
You know what happens here? If Mercedes wins, right? What happens is that no matter who they put up against Mercedes in the future, that woman who's in that ring is going to need to be of a specific kind of caliber. Because that rub can't just go to anybody.
Oh, it's gonna be Willow. That's why I picked Willow to win the Casino
Does
Gauntlet.
she need that though, like that?
Yes, she needs to be solidified as the woman that can beat Mercedes Monet. She's the only one in AEW currently that beat Mercedes Monet in the past. And yes, it took her breaking her ankle, but she's the only one that can do it. So she's the one that's going to end the streak. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about the main event, because that is the one result that I think is basically the company's future on the line, as Jon Moxley will defend the AEW World Championship in a Texas death match against Hangman Adam Page. Hangman shocked the world when he defeated Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing to become the winner of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament and go on to face Jon Moxley for the AEW World title at AEW All in Texas. He was basically on his redemption arc. This was all it was about, to get back to the mountaintop, to redeem himself for losing the title in 2022 and the downward spiral he went on that led him into a blood feud with Swerve Strickland that turned him to the dark side, where he burned down his house. He injured and retired one of his mentors and best friends in Christopher Daniels, and now he is on the arc to redeem it all and bring the All Elite Wrestling Men's Championship back to the light. But he must face the most dominant champion in AEW history. Jon Moxley has had a death grip on the whole entire company since winning the title at Wrestle Dream last October and retiring Bryan Danielson. The Death Riders have been the anchor to AEW in a lot of ways, to a lot of people, and a lot of people not liking this reign of terror that Moxley and the Death Riders have been on. But we've seen light at the end of the tunnel, and a lot of that leads with Hangman Adam Page, who has a history with Jon Moxley, beating him in a Texas death match back at Revolution 2023. And that was one of the main reasons he made the challenge for this. But also it's the fact that everybody is rooting for Hangman Adam Page. He's the last hope for All Elite Wrestling in the eyes of the fans, in the eyes of the locker room, and in the eyes of Jon Moxley, who thinks that Hangman can't deal with all the pressure. And he watched Hangman come to an understanding and air his grievances with Swerve Strickland, talk it out with Swerve, where he said that he regretted everything that he did, and he asked Swerve if he regretted what he did to him, and Swerve said if he asked him before he won the world title, he would have said no. But after everything that he's lost, the world title, all the big matches, yes, he does regret it. He's going to stay out of Hangman and his family's way at All In Texas. And he said that, he wanted to raise his family in the house that he burned down, but sometimes you got to let go of the past after all. But Swerve saw that Hangman left the chain that was the difference maker for Hangman when he beat Moxley in the Texas Death Match at Revolution 2023. So will that chain come into play at All In Texas? Who will get involved in all of this? How will this match turn out? And can the AEW World title come back to the light? Maggie, is it redemption or is it dominance? Moxley, Hangman, who's gonna win?
No. Is it redemption or is it just dumb shit? So okay, let's because they do have WrestleMania in front of their eyes, and they know that they need to learn from other people's mistakes. After WrestleMania 40 happened, I still feel like this should have happened last year's WrestleMania. So with WrestleMania 39, with the whole Cody thing and everything, I still feel like it was supposed to be then. You can gladly say, oh, it was a bigger moment a year later. No.
Was it? Are we still ruminating about that a year later? Absolutely not. They did it at the wrong time. The timing was awful. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So let's not sit here and pretend that, things are better if we don't do them now and we do them later. Remember what I said at the beginning of the show, leaving the best for last? Don't do that. Just don't fucking do that. And one thing makes me incredibly scared, and it's Tony Khan's ridiculous marriage to long-term storytelling. When sometimes is a really good thing, but other times, TK, just let it go, forget about it. And when it comes to Darby Allin, I feel like I have been pretty vocal enough in saying that I am not at all in the demographic that loves Darby Allin. Dude is not for me. What is no, like, dude, you're not a teenager. Just, and I know this is the stupidest thing to say because, like, I'm a 36-year-old woman who listens to metal and has piercings and tattoo. I have a Darth Vader tattoo between my legs. I am not allowed to speak when it comes to grown up things, you know? This, like, no.
Did
But
you? I'm sorry. Hold on. Time. Now hold on. I've been steering the professional ship all so long, but this right here, this takes the cake. She said right now, a couple seconds ago, that she has a Darth Vader tattoo in between her legs.
yes.
Where are we right now? What world is this?
I like Star Wars.
I appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
I mean, as
I
you can
had a
guys see, I
inappropriate
just like,
comment, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Go on, man.
yes, yeah. So, what was I talking? Oh, yes, I remember. So, if we say that, especially with the Roman Reigns thing, it's waiting so much time to turn the Roman Reigns heel just made it so much easier. Okay, I'm gonna be really, really shocking right now. And then that's saying a lot. This is exactly like brace yourself. And this, I have said this on Twitter, and I have gained a lot more followers after this tweet. It was a long time ago. So saying that Roman Reigns turning heel after all these years was better because of the weight is exactly like saying not shaving your private parts just so it can feel so much better when you finally do. It is exactly like this. And it's stupid. So let's not do that, because it's what? No. Like, Hangman's the person. Give it to Hangman. Hangman has been the number one thing when it comes to AEW. AEW is Hangman. I don't care. They can run it back with Chris Jericho for all I care. I know I fucking hate the guy, but like, this is back to the beginning. Back to the beginning. The original title match between Hangman and Chris Jericho, but this time Hangman mops the floor with Chris Jericho. Book it.
I'm here for
please,
that.
Please.
He never got his win back.
Never. So this is the time, please. Do you guys realize that we have not seen the AEW championships in 14 years now? Because is it like, what is this? What are we fighting for? Like, what is it? I feel like Moxie just straight out lost that championship somewhere, and it takes them a long time to make the same belt.
And he's just like, it's in the briefcase, I swear.
It's totally in the briefcase. And it's like, can we just make the right decision here and make Hangman the winner? Just please. I feel like this is the only good decision. I don't care, like, if it's gonna take I don't care if it's gonna take for Eddie Kingston to fucking come back. He just has to light someone on fire. He doesn't need to get physical. Just light someone on fire. I'm sure that Gabe Kidd has zero problem to be lit on fire.
He's the type of guy who would do that.
That's Jack Perry's bit. You know, if Eddie's lighting anybody on fire, it's Jack, because Jack's a professional at this point. So you know, you gotta do it with the professionals.
Yeah. Real fire, Cry Me a River. So it's yes, and it's right there. I can see Bryan Danielson there because he's already singing karaoke with Will Ospreay, and he basically came back at Ring of Honor. Duh. That was weird, by the way.
That's very weird. I thought they weren't going to air that.
So random. So random. So Bryan Danielson needs to come back, and probably for me, he should be the only person to get physical with Jon Moxley apart from Hangman, because I kind of feel like he deserves it, like, for the whole bag thing. I mean, he did try to murder the guy.
I think that the bag will make its presence felt during this match.
Yes. What's in the bag?
I think so.
Yeah. So at the end, because they brought it back on, I think it was Wednesday, right? With the
at Dynamite, yes. Marina Shafir gave Young Bucks each a bag, and then Swerve destroyed their limo.
And dare I say, I think that Tony Khan has now got an itch for violence against women. Marina Shafir out here calling Adam Page you know what, twice on the microphone last night on Collision. Doesn't bode well for her during that match.
Nope.
No.
So
yes.
You know,
yes.
On top of everything else, so we're probably going to see some more physicality with Marina Shafir. I don't put it past Daniel Bryan to choke a motherfucker out with a plastic bag, so we might see that. And Bryan Danielson. And I'm with Maggie here, man. It's hanger or nothing. At the end of the day, it's hanger or nothing. It's
hanger or we riot.
That absolutely. It's happened a couple of times during wrestling history where the fans jump the barricades and they enter the ring and they end up hurting wrestlers. I think that might happen in Texas, man. And I actually think it happened in Texas, to be quite honest. So there's that. Yeah, man. But go ahead, Maggie, if you have any other points to land on.
First of all, I feel like Swerve was a bit too good with that heavy machinery. Dude, like, what is your secret? I mean, the dude can do no wrong and kind of pisses me off just a bit. Like, can you suck at something, please? Just for the normal people, okay? You're making us look bad. Shenanigans a lot, and then I mean, everything has to end with all the baby faces putting Hangman on their shoulders, and Swerve not being a part of that group, him being on the ramp, and he just gives Hangman the nod. The nod has to happen. This is cinema, okay? The nod has to happen.
The same nod the Bucks gave him when he won
the same nod that Matt Jackson gave Hangman when he was facing Kenny Omega. Yes. The nod has to happen.
I think that this is going to be bloody. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be the Avengers endgame of pro wrestling cinema, where the gate's going to open and it's going to be Captain Britain, Will Ospreay leading the charge of all the baby faces, the American Dragon or Captain American Dragon, Bryan Danielson returning, Darby and Sting both coming from the rafters to take out the Death Riders. Maybe we get an Eddie Kingston appearance. There's going to be all the stuff, but it ends with Hangman on the verge of losing. Marina Shafir gives Moxley a chain, and Swerve Strickland gives Hangman the chain that he uses first on Jon Moxley, and then he hangs him to win the AEW World Championship. Hangman Page, 2-time champion. It's the only result. The future of this company is on the line, Tony. Stick the landing. That's all I got to say. Stick the landing. J News, anything you want to cap things off with?
I would say that chain comes into play, as you said, because I don't think Mox can be pinned or submitted. I think Mox has to be hung from the chain in order for him to either give out or whatever the case is.
Well, he tapped out last time.
Well,
I think he's going to tap out again.
Yeah. So in this case, it's like just beating him is not worth the hassle. You know, do hang him from the chain over the rope and call it a day at the end of the day. Because
he's going to have the plastic bag and then wrap the chain around.
Imagine. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's a bit too much. But to add to all of this, I said this at the beginning of the week. I'll say it here. And I'll say it in a positive way. I feel like this is going to be a House of Torture-esque match for those of us.
Oh my God!
Oh no, that's a bad analogy, sir.
No.
Let's not put that out on the universe.
The reason I say that is because there's going to be so many shenanigans, so many run-ins, and things of that nature that are going to happen in this match. But we're going to get the ending that we all want. Hanger wins. See, in the House of Torture matches, the shenanigans happen and the House of Torture usually wins. No.
There's different terms for this, different positive terms for this.
Maybe.
It's WrestleMania 40 or
Bloodline rules,
Bloodline rules, or the NWO, and then Sting comes in the end, which he literally might. So there's other terms. House of Torture is a negative term, sir. There's no way around it.
Fair enough, I guess. But you know what I mean. It's just shenanigans at the end of the day. And if this is the match where Darby reappears, so be it. You know? Do him and Jack need to run it back? I don't think so, but maybe that comes out of this at the end of the day. So
what do y'all jackoffs keep getting this guy in everything? Jesus.
Listen, man. Jack's gonna be everywhere on this show, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, anyways, yeah, man. Look, I think that the match itself is gonna be it'll be slow and plodding just because of where John is now career-wise and things of that nature. It'll get brutal. Obviously, we'll see some color at the end of the day. Sorry, Dion, it's gonna happen. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with Tony Khan. You know what I'm saying? So it's got nothing to do with me and everything to do with Tony Khan. So there's that aspect of it. But you know, the finality of it all, I'm with Maggie, on the shoulders of the AEW brethren. You know, the nod from Swerve needs to happen. That acknowledgement needs to happen. And then we go from there. Just because it's gonna be a wild ass match, man. It's gonna be a wild match.
That's definitely for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely see a lot of different things happening during this match. Different people getting their comeuppance and all that jazz. I just hope that Tony learns his lesson from everything that's been happening in pro wrestling in the last couple of years.
Please, Tony.
Nervous laughs.
So
Yes.
because even though the Death Riders thing didn't work at the beginning, it's working now, right? To the extent of where it needs to be working with Hanger.
Yeah, but it's working because it has to end.
Right.
Yes.
Fair. Absolutely. But you know, like you said, there's that fear about that long-term storytelling. You know what I'm saying? But Hanger for the win. And you know, we get to party afterwards, and that's all it's about. That's all it's about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've made it to the end of our pay-per-view preview. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live. Love the conversation from everyone in the chat. You guys have been amazing today. And Dion is setting us up for a loss on Saturday. He sends a super chat donation. He says, "Buckle up, guys. We're only in the third inning." Just kidding.
Shut
Laughing
your
emoji.
mouth.
We love you, Dion.
Shut
but
your
shut
mouth.
your mouth. But yes, we've made it to the end here. Thank you, Dion. Thank you, Chuck Berries, for the super chat donations. And thank you to Maggie, to J News, to Top Guy JJ for joining me on the ride and giving your predictions for this Saturday's big show. Maggie, you got a big review on Sunday that you could tell everybody about and let everybody know where they can follow you on social media. And thank you again.
It was absolutely my pleasure, sweetie. You know how much I adore loving. Jesus, no. I enjoy doing these pre-shows with you. They're absolutely my favorite. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter, X, or whatever you guys want to call it, at Maggie_IK. On Instagram at Maggie.IK. And if you still do Blue Sky, Maggie-IK, which sounds really weird. Usually every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fightful Overbooked, I have a little show called Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. I adore Rob. A lot of fuckery at hand every time. If you come for wrestling analysis, just no. We just talk crap for about an hour and a half, and that's about it when it comes to Coexisting. But this week, because Rob had a trip to New York, we are doing the show at 3 p.m. Eastern on a Sunday, when we will be talking a lot about All In, and we will also be doing our Evolution predictions. And after that, I feel like we have one more week that we will be on at Thursday. But again, normally our preferred time is Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern for a lot of wonderful time. We have a really lovely community there. Also, last but definitely not least, I would surely appreciate you guys to subscribe to Fightful Select, the easiest and best $5.99 you're ever gonna spend on wrestling coverage. A lot of news, a lot of contract negotiations when it comes to wrestling. And Sean is in Texas today and for the rest of the weekend, and he will be getting first-hand scoops, so you're gonna be wanting to subscribe to Fightful Select. There's also a Discord. Guys, I'm 36 years old. I have no idea what Discord means. I'm too old for this shit. People keep telling me it's the best thing ever. I'm gonna believe you, but I'm not doing that. Just please subscribe to Fightful Select, and please join me on SP3 on a lot of premium live event and pay-per-view predictions like these ones. They're so much fun. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Maggie. As always, J News, let everybody know where they can follow you.
All right, folks. As per the usual, you guys can follow me on the Twitter machine at JohnLYFNMG. You can follow me on Instagram _JONJY. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and the lovely Dolores do our Hit the Ropes podcast. You can catch me there on a weekly basis. We'll be going over what was the week in professional wrestling. I know that True Heel Heat has their AEW All In review on Sunday, but I unfortunately will not be able to take part in that, for the simple fact that I will not be watching All In live. So I'm going to have to take Sunday to watch All In. So I'll be off all the socials for the next couple of days. So that's that portion of it. For the folks in the chat who mentioned earlier that they have plans to watch Superman this weekend, I have one piece of advice for you. Please go into this film with an open mind. That is all I have to say about that. I've already watched it. I really enjoyed it. All I'm asking for any fans of comic book movies or movies in general, just go into the movie with an open mind. There's that about it. And yeah, catch me on True Heel Heat. I think sometime next week, me and SP3 have, and the lovely Sonal, hopefully, we'll probably have to break down our G1 brackets and things of that nature. as G1 will commence next Saturday on the 19th. So that's the New Japan, the biggest tournament of the year happening for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we'll go over that sometime during the week. And yeah, that's all I got.
There we go. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. If you want to watch along on AEW All in Texas tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we got our All in Texas watch party with Romeo and the gang. We're going live tomorrow, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time with the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. So we'll have your pre-show festivities there. But check out AE Ramble reviewing Dynamite this week with me and Jimmy Macaram. We also got plenty of content over at patreon.com/Trio Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content like our ROH Supercard of Honor preview. We did a GCW Boss of All Bosses preview. We did reviews for all of the WWE events this weekend as well. And here is the rest of the lineup for All In Week. Like I said, True Hill Heat flagship podcast tomorrow, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And we'll be reviewing All in Texas on Sunday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. So join us for all of that. But for Maggie, for J News, for Top Guy JJ, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our All in Texas 2025 preview. We are signing off until next time.